to go make a play.
Absolutely.
Right? Dawson's been in that situation. Jacob hasn't.
There's something to be said for game experience.
Yeah, trying to protect him a little. And one of those things that we probably could have let the reins off a little bit, but just didn't want him to feel like he had to go win a ball game for us. So we tried to do what we could do to move the football and just couldn't do it consistently enough. And that's something we've got to figure out this week. We've got to figure out how to go score some points against Howard. That's the good thing about football is, we get a great opportunity this week to go get back on track. It's going to take a lot of work. We've got to figure out what we're good at. We've got to continue to play defense better. We've got to get better on special teams. Those are the focuses for this week. Our special teams play has to get better. And the guys that are involved in that know that. Like, they're not passing the blame on anybody. They know, hey, I've got to do my job better than I'm doing it. And we've got to coach it better than we're coaching it. But we've got to make sure we're putting our offense in better situations to go score and putting our defense in better situations to not give up points. And special teams has a huge hand in making sure that happens.
Yeah, perfect. Glad you let us into Howard. Again, this Friday night, the Mustangs are on the road for another region game, third region game of the season at Howard down in Chattanooga. If you could just kind of tell us a little bit about Howard. I know in the past they've offensively had a heavy run game. Is that pretty much the same as what we've seen over the past few years?
Yeah, very similar. They got two guys, number 3, number 2. I'm so bad with names, but those two kids can really play. They get them in open space. Try to get them on sweeps. They are throwing the ball a little bit more than I've seen them throw it in the past. They throw quick game. They're throwing sprint out. They're throwing vertical balls, those kind of things. They've hit a vertical ball against several teams that we're watching film on them, against. So we're going to have to make sure that we're paying attention on the back end. Again, an opportunity to go get our hand on the football and go create some turnovers. The ball's in the air and it hangs in the air for an extended period of time. We have enough speed to make sure that we recover and we're able to get under those footballs and make contested plays on them. And hopefully we can start coming down with those footballs as they're in the air. And then defensively up front, they're going to try to run power. They're going to try to run sweep, and they're bigger bodies up front. They got a couple kids that can really break loose on that. Defensively, they've always been so good up front. They're not as big as they've been the past few years. I think, and I've said it on this show, the last 2 years, I think they had the best defensive line in our region. I don't necessarily think it was close.
Yep.
They had some absolute dogs up front. They're not the same as they have been, but they're still big-bodied kids that are strong. And when they punch you, you can see on film they got a really good punch. I really like their middle linebacker. Their middle linebacker is a good little player. Number 12, he strikes you. I watched him against East Hamilton. Pulling guard comes around, and he pulls, and normally a pulling guard on a linebacker, that guard's going to win most of the time. And you saw the kid left foot, left shoulder, and put East Hamilton's lineman on his knee. He just buckled him. So really strong kid, has a lot of power. They got kids that are flying down from safety, trying to make tackles. They do a good job of getting you on the ground. It's one of those things, that I've played this kind of game where the athleticism is so high on the other side. They do a great job of getting you on the ground and making you snap it again. And we've said this at the high school level, and you have to snap it over and over and over. A lot of times that leads to mistakes. So we've got to make sure that we stay focused for 12, 14, 16 play drives, that we're able to finish those drives with touchdowns when we get down in the red zone. That's been a place where we've really fallen short, is red zone scoring. We've had several red zone trips this year where we got 0 points, and we've got to make sure we're focused on that offensively.
Coach, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here. You may or may not be able to answer this question. Quarterback situation. Yeah. Last week, Jacob Curley with the start. Obviously, Dawson out with the injury, the head injury. Is Dawson going to be available this week? Do you know an answer to that yet? If not, what could we expect to see from Curley?
Yeah, I don't expect him to be available this week. I honestly, me and his dad talked the other day, and my message to him was, hey, I want him to be as healthy as we can possibly get him before, because my fear is, he gets cleared and we bring him back and then he has a setback. And I really don't want to get that setback where we lose, we lose him for McMinn in the playoffs. If we have to lose some games up front with him, not lose as in lose the game, lose as in him not
The playing time.
Yeah, if we lose him playing for the next 2 games to make sure that we have him throughout, McMinn and the playoff run, then so be it. We've got to find a way. We've got to be able to coach well enough to put us in a situation where we can win these ball games. And it's going to be difficult. I mean, we got a super talented team with Howard, East Hamilton, who beat us last year, and Coach Nance I have a ton of respect for. He's a very good coach. And then Pure Academy coming back, and they're going to be super athletic too. So it's trying to make that decision, but ultimately I want to make sure that we don't put Dawson in a situation where he has a setback, where, we bring him back too quickly and he gets hurt or he's just not quite ready. And so I don't expect him to be back this week. We're going to reevaluate him on Friday. If he feels like Friday he's made some progress and the doctors feel like he made some progress, we'll try to get him into protocol, the return to play protocol. If we don't have it by Friday, then okay, then we make a plan for East Hamilton and we check him again the next Friday. But ultimately, I want him to be as healthy as he can possibly be and without fear that we can have a setback. I don't want us to bring him back early and have a setback that cost him, throughout the rest of the season. So we're going to try to be smart with that. We're going to protect that kid. He wants to be back. He's actually back at practice today watching, which is really exciting. It was the first time our guys have seen him. So it was exciting to have him back in the building and just around our guys. You could kind of feel the atmosphere kind of go up a little bit with him around. But ultimately, we're going to let the doctors make those decisions, and we're going to make sure that we trust those doctors and trust Dawson to be honest with us, because he's got to be honest about what he's feeling and make sure that we don't rush back too quickly.
Well, Coach, I'll go ahead and speak on behalf of Jacob and myself. First of all, we agree player safety first. I think that's a wise decision. But this is a game where the Mustangs are heavily favored. So if you're looking at the schedule and looking at bringing your quarterback back out of that situation, this is kind of a good, timely game to have that decision. Because, again, I know you don't like to overlook any opponent, but the Mustangs are heavily favored in this game against Howard.
Yeah, probably on paper we are. I think until we score some points, as the offensive coach, we've got to figure out how to score some points.
Absolutely.
I mean, our defense is playing so well right now that I really feel confident that our defense can put us in great situations. We've got to make sure we figure out how to score points to make it where it's not an uncomfortable win, that we're able to just go win a ball game. And until we do that, we got some things that I'm going to show you here in a second. And I'm excited to show you on film the things that we are going to try to attack with and show you that Curley can do it. And hopefully he has the confidence after a week of starter reps that we're a little more confident on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, well, Coach, we're excited to break down film. We're going to send it back for a break just before we just start this, and then we'll break down film from Ray County and kind of wrap this thing up. So we'll be back after this.
Caldwell Paving, paving the way in Tennessee since 1958. Caldwell Paving specializes in asphalt paving and seal coating. They serve residential clients, industrial and commercial companies, and subdivision projects. Conveniently located in Charleston, Caldwell Paving serves all of Southeast Tennessee. Caldwell Paving, old surfaces made new. CaldwellPaving.com.
Hey, it's Josh with exciting news from Wholesale Supply. I want to introduce you to Piper's Picks, now available in our Chattanooga, Cleveland, and Dalton markets. Thanks to our partnership with Piper Strummett and our friends at Progress Lighting, Piper's Picks brings you the latest trends and styles in decorative lighting. Browse our curated selection in our showrooms and make lighting your project easier than ever. Visit Wholesale Supply today and discover Piper's Picks, where style meets innovation. To find out more information and a location near you, visit wholesalesupply.us for more.
Smith Family McDonald's salutes all student-athletes and their families for the sacrifices they make on the field, but especially in the classroom. Smith Family McDonald's.
Tennessee Wesleyan University offers more than 80 majors and minors at the undergraduate and graduate levels. With the TWU Pledge, students may be eligible to attend tuition-free. A 10-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio ensures students receive individualized attention, and Tennessee Wesleyan remains one of the most affordable colleges in the region. Visit tnwesleyan.edu to learn more about on-campus and online opportunities. Choose blue at Tennessee Wesleyan University.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians from $22.17 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, and vision insurance. Paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply at Duracell.com.
The Billy Haney Meat Company has been serving this community for 56 years, locally owned and operated and open to the public. Feel free to call or just walk in to get all of your bulk food needs with no membership required. Keep your chest freezers stocked with frozen and fresh hamburger patties and frozen chicken of all types. The Billy Haney Meat Company literally has it all. Those square pizzas we all loved in school, they have those too. And they keep a large supply of your favorite candy and chips. Call the Billy Haney Meat Company at 336-2468 or visit them at 2154 Old Charleston Road.
When you need a new roof, it's all about trust. Your home is too big of an investment and you can't afford to make a mistake. Cleveland Plywood has the products and expertise you're looking for. Contractors have trusted them for over 50 years. Cleveland Plywood carries only proven products from reputable suppliers like IKO. IKO Cambridge is one of the heaviest weight asphalt shingles you can buy. Ask the experts at Cleveland Plywood to show you why that's important. Plus, IKO's limited warranties are among the industry's best. Protect the investment you made in your home. Go with the pros at Cleveland Plywood. Visit them at 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $5.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $5.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
This is Thomas Williams with Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland. You're listening to High School Football on WCLE. Go Mustangs!
Any trade goes. This is John Davis, the trading man for Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway, announcing our Any Trade Go sale. We'll take any trade in any condition, and we'll give you $8,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair value toward the purchase of any new Kia Sorento in our huge inventory. That's right, $8,000 more than your car is worth. Smokers, chokers, even clunkers and junkers. At Kia Cleveland, all trades are welcome. Making payments on your current vehicle and you want to trade out early? This is your chance. Credit score less than perfect? We've got forgiving lenders that will say yes to you and yes to your situation. Come see me, John Davis, during our Any Trade Go sale and get $8,000 over Kelly Blue Book fair value for your old car toward the purchase of any new Kia Sorento in stock. At Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Looking for the dealer who's gonna give you more. Kia Cleveland Superstore.
Negative equity refinance with approved credit offers don't buy.
Are you tired of high cooling and heating bills every year? It's time for a change. Call the experts at Independent Insulation Services at 423-716-3762. Our advanced spray foam insulation can save you money and keep your home comfortable year-round. Don't wait. Get your free quote today. Independent Insulation Services, your spray foam experts.
This is Dr. Brian Beard with the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. CAD/CAM technology allows us to make your crown or veneer in one visit. No temporary, no sticky impression. We've had this technology for over 25 years now and have really perfected it so much that I prefer it for some interior cosmetic work. The color, the shapes, the contours are in my hands and not in a third-party lab that doesn't really know what the patient wants. Give us a call at 476-6541. Come see the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry difference.
Joined by my friend Drew McClendon with Crawford's Pharmacy to talk about flu season.
We are able to do flu, strep, and COVID and be able to treat if a patient were to test positive for either of those. All the patient has to do is just call and give us a heads up and say, hey, we're coming in to get this test. One of our pharmacists will be able to perform the test, and if the patient is positive for those said illnesses, we can prescribe and treat with antibiotics or antivirals right there on the spot, and we're able to bill people's insurance for those medications if we do provide them.
It's Crawford's Pharmacy on Chambliss Avenue. Call them 479-8601.
Good evening. You're listening to WCLE Sports 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. And once again, I am Andy Morris. A little bit of a change up in the booth tonight. Jacob is not with us, but we've got a former Mustang, Mustang football great. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Brody Swafford in the booth with us. I know we got a lot of people excited that you're with us tonight, Brody.
Yeah, I don't know about that Walker Valley great you got going on there, Coach, but I'm just happy to be here. Glad you asked me.
Yeah, we're excited to have Brody with us tonight to provide some insight, not only from his experiences as a Mustang and up at Austin P and UTC as well. A lot of football knowledge from Brody, but just you know a lot of these young men that are on the field tonight for the Mustangs, and you know football. So excited to have your insight and 2 cents on what's going on.
Yeah, you know, it's always good coming back and seeing the guys that you work with. I mean, I worked with Roman Yulo, Hudson McCooch, Spencer McCooch. I worked with them a little bit, just seeing all their hard work paying off, seeing the season they're having. It's just, you know, great to come back and watch.
No, you're absolutely right. A lot of people have even said that, hey, Roman kind of reminds us of the way Brody played. So definitely a lot of similarities between you two. Once again, this is the pregame show, the Cleveland Ford Friday Night Football pregame show, located here in the Bradley Medical Center broadcast booth. We are live at Howard High School, Reggie White Field. By the way, right off the interstate here, they've got a new artificial turf stadium here at Howard, and they had a stadium renovation a few years ago. An absolutely beautiful scene. Weather's perfect tonight.
I mean, you couldn't ask for much better weather than this. I mean, you've got the sunset in the background, you got the mountains, especially after the week we had last week in the rain against Ray County. It's just great to be in this kind of environment, this kind of weather.
Yeah, Brody, I'm glad you hit on that. Last week, obviously, things not going the Mustangs' way, suffering their first region loss on the road at Ray County against a very, very tough, rejuvenated Ray County team. The strides they've made from last year to this year are remarkable. Obviously, Coach Harvey, Coach Ashby, the main reason for that. Got a lot of good things going on up there at Ray County. Unfortunately for the Mustangs, took a 16-0 loss up there in the rain. So that was definitely a tough one to swallow as far as when you're looking at the region outlook for the year. But again, it's not something that you can't come back from.
Right.
You've got Howard tonight. You've got Eastham next week. You've got McMinn down the road. So definitely you're still in a position where you not only can compete for the region championship still, you've got to have some other things go your way, but you're still looking to host that home playoff game.
Right. And it all goes back to, like, you can't dwell on the things you can't control anymore. It's in the past. All right, you lost your first region game. My senior year, we lost our first region game against Ray County. Still had an unbelievable season. Still were able to make a run in the playoffs. But it's just your ability to bounce back from that week, that week 4 region loss.
You got to be able to put it behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So you bringing that up, that Ray County game, I believe that was the last time we lost to Ray County up until this year. So definitely, Jacob and I talked about that last week off air. That it kind of, outside of the weather, it was just a monsoon up there last Friday night. But it had some similarities where you felt like you were in the game, but then like you look at the scoreboard and you're not. So definitely, wanting to improve production on the scoreboard, you can't have a goose egg on there to win the game, obviously. Right. So one thing that definitely has set this team back this year are injuries. So real quick, we're going to do a quick injury report. These are inactive players for the Mustangs tonight. Quarterback Dosen Stum is out. Offensive lineman Jeremiah Townsend is out. Cornerback Michael Wood out, and linebacker Mason Alexander is out. So those guys, huge contributors for the Mustangs. Also, obviously, Zeke Garrison and Eli Cross lost for the season. So when you hear that, you're like, man, that's like half of our starters that are out this week that are coming into the season we thought we were going to have. But one thing, and you kind of hit on this before we came on air, Jacob Curley, I think, really did a fine job managing the offense last week under obviously the bad weather circumstances and not really getting a lot of reps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think for him, the biggest thing that he's going to have to focus on this week is, coaches always say your biggest jump is from week 1 to week 2. And for him, this is his week 2. All right, so last week was week 1. It's over with. It's in the past. He's got to learn from all that stuff that he did, what he needs to do better, what he did good. And I'm looking for some big strides here tonight from him. I think if he can take control of the offense, we set the tone early with the run game, get him, a little bit of confidence, complete some hitches coming out there. I think he'll have a great game. I think he'll get it out to his playmakers. They can go, make some plays, and hopefully we can run away with this one.
Yeah, you nailed it, Brody. And as we get into our keys to the game, we'll let Brody elaborate a little bit more on that. But with that, Brody, doing a great job, by the way. Hit Brody's first on-air radio broadcast experience tonight here at Howard High School for your Walker Valley Mustangs. Glad to have Brody with us.
Yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking because I know I got my parents, my dad down at Northwest Whitfield. I'm not sure where my mom is. She's listening somewhere. She could be at Northwest Whitfield. Got my brother in Johnson City. I'll make a comment about him, later on, a dig perhaps, but just trying not to embarrass myself too bad.
Got to show that brotherly love to the former all-time tackle leader for the Mustangs.
Former all-time tackle leader.
Yeah, former. He's number 2 now.
Number 2.
Thanks to Eli Denton, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, so with that, we're going to take a 1-minute break here on the Cleveland Ford Friday night pregame show. When we come back, we'll have the Southern Heritage Bank football history moment along with the lead-up to kickoff. We'll be back in 1 minute.
High school football supplied by Wholesale Supply Group.
Join a team that cares for each other while serving delicious chicken. Chick-fil-A Cleveland is hiring full-time, hard-working individuals. Join us at our open house interviews at our Key Street location from 2 to 5 every Thursday. We offer insurance, 401ks, scholarships, and competitive pay.
Hey guys, this is Dan Good from Crown. Just reminding you that Crown Ram is Cleveland and Bradley County's Ram headquarters.
ESPN Radio returns to Southeast Tennessee. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM is the new home of the Paul Feinbaum Show, Greeny, The Drive, and more of your favorite shows. Listen on air or at ESPNCleveland1013.com. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM.
Voitic Center for Orthopedic Care treats all orthopedic injuries, including neck and back pain. At Voitic Center for Orthopedic Care, insurance isn't a worry because they accept all insurances and can even get same-day appointments or even walk-ins. Digital x-rays are even on site. Voitic Center is also a certified concussion care specialist. Contact Dr. Voitic and his staff at 479-3600 for your appointment today.
Once again, we're live here at Howard High School. This is WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. And this is the Cleveland Ford Friday Night Football pregame show, and we're in the Bradley Medical Center broadcast booth. Once again, I'm Andy Morris along with Brody Swafford, former Mr. Do-It-All for this football team at Walker Valley, be it at the receiver position, if we needed him to be a defensive back, if we needed you to return kicks and punts, whatever you needed to do, you did it, and provided our listeners for a lot of enjoyment for your efforts on the field.
Yeah, I mean, I just did, whatever Coach Akins, Coach Pope asked me to do. Even going back to Coach Wood, D. Wood, those guys were great coaches for me. I learned a lot from them, learned, how to read defense. They're really they're more college coaches than I originally had. So they're teaching me how to read defenses, and, I really matured in the game while I was playing here.
Yeah, great coaching staff here at Walker Valley. The things that they've been able to accomplish over the past few years, especially going back to the 2020 season with your group, definitely broke some milestones and some barriers really for Walker Valley football. And one thing, but before we get into the rest of our pregame stuff, your dad, Eric Swafford, was on that coaching staff as well, which, again, he was one of the longest tenured football coaches at Walker Valley for a long time, and had to have been pretty cool being able to play for your dad. I know I was able to wrestle for my dad, so I know what that's like. Very, very special experience, I'm sure, for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was my basketball coach in elementary school. He was, football coach throughout high school. Now, some might think, oh yeah, that's awesome. It's all sunshine and rainbows. And now, when you're on the field and you mess up, you're punching the ground, you come off, you slam your helmet. He's right there in your face, and he's the first one to tell you to buck up. And,
yeah, that's right.
Put your big boy pants on.
I was going to ask you if he was, and I've talked with your dad plenty, obviously, but was he the kind of dad that, when he was done coaching you, when you left the field, did you leave it at the field, or did that conversation continue at home?
It really depended on what I did in that situation.
Like throwing a football into the stands?
Throwing a football into the stands. I thought he was about to rip me a new one.
Coach Akins saved you, though. He saved you.
He did, luckily. But
you were directed by Coach Akins
exactly.
to pump up the crowd and throw the football into the stands.
Now, if it was something where I was like, out and about something, then he would, correct it in the car for, lack of better words. But yeah, it was always fun playing for him. I mean, going home, talking about the game, even just talking about, the plays, the game itself. I mean, it was always a great time, really good bonding.
That's awesome. And obviously, we talked about Skyler, your brother, another guy that you were able to lean on and stuff, who did great things at Walker Valley, obviously. On my end, the conversation never stopped. My dad was like, we're eating dinner. He's like, hey, what'd you think about that? I'm like, yeah, it was cool. Let's take a break for a minute. But no, he lived it. So still does, still coaching wrestling up at Walker Valley. So shout out to Alan Morris Sr., who is currently the longest tenured coach at Walker Valley High School. So pretty impressive. He's hanging in there. He's hanging in there. That's right. That's right. So once again, this is the Cleveland Ford Friday Night Football pregame show, and we're going to go on over to our Southern Heritage Bank Walker Valley football history moment. So listen, we've got Brody Swafford in the booth with us, so I couldn't pass up this opportunity to go back to 2020 when the Mustangs hosted number 2 Knox Powell in the first round of the TSSAA playoffs. Brody Swafford led the way for the Mustangs with 231 all-purpose yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. Walker Valley upset then state-ranked number 2 Powell 21-16, in which I believe was the first ever home playoff game. So once again, that is our Southern Heritage Bank Walker Valley football history moment. Just to throw this in there as well, Lane Miller, 3 interceptions in that game, and freshman Eli Denton led the team in tackles that night with 10 tackles. So very, very impressive showing from the Mustangs.
Yeah, that game, without a doubt, was one of the most fun that I had ever played. In front of the home crowd, you get down, going into halftime, we were down, 10-7, I think it was. And then we come out of halftime, able to score 2 touchdowns. Tucker Pope was back there commanding us. Coach Akins making great play calls. I mean, it was, with the environment, first round of the playoffs, number 2 team coming in there and knock them off with all their 4 or 5-star recruits, where they're playing right now. I watched them on Saturday.
Yeah.
But, they're out there playing on Saturdays. But it was for sure one of the most fun games I ever played.
Yeah, and really that 2020 class, that group, that experience is really, I referred to it before the last break, but you guys really were kind of the groundbreakers as far as making that stuff possible for these future teams. Those younger guys behind you saw what Walker Valley could do, and man, has Coach Akins and his staff got the guys to buy into that. And you guys were the trendsetters with that for sure. So definitely a great night. Going back to that night, again, you talked about the crowd and the environment. Shout out to Tanner Hunt and the Walker Valley band, because at one point during that game, the band was behind them playing. The student section had just been moved down to that same side of the field, and I can remember the quarterback standing up away from center with his arms out looking at his coach and pointing to his ears. I can't hear anything. He can't hear the snap. The center wasn't snapping the ball. So it was like a college football environment, which obviously you know a little bit about.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the band for real. We've probably got one of the best bands in the entire state of Tennessee. Always bringing the energy, always being loud. Definitely impacts the game in more ways than you can think. I mean, you just think of like crowd noise at like a Penn State whiteout, but just like a fraction of that at a high school stadium, you're going to have those desired results of just confusion on the field. People don't know what to do. They can't hear the calls. And that definitely affected that game for sure.
Hey, I want to say I'm impressed that you used the Penn State reference instead of the Tennessee checkerboard reference.
All right. You got me on that.
But no, you're absolutely right, Brody. And we see the Mustangs making their way from the locker room to the field in their all-white uniforms here on the artificial turf. You can wear the all-whites because you're not going to have to scrub dirt and grass stains out of them. But once again, Mustangs white helmet with the Navy WV on the side, white jerseys, Navy numerals, and white pants with the Navy and gold stripes. So Mustangs getting ready to take the field Real quick, let's talk about this matchup a little bit. Howard's 2-3 on the year. Their 2 wins have came against Republic and Sequoia. So already, they've got 2 wins this year. The past 2 seasons, they've had 2 wins. So an improved Howard team, and obviously benefiting from a little bit better schedule in their favor as well. But the Hustling Tigers are a region opponent here in Region 4, 5A for your Walker Valley Mustangs. And their colors are crimson and gold. Head coach Dedrick Moffitt. And the Mustangs, of course, 4-2 on the year. This is the 8th meeting between these 2 teams. Walker Valley holds the lead in that series, 5 wins and 2 losses. Once again, that's all-time versus Howard. So, again, your Mustangs taking care of business against the Hustling Tigers. Last season, Mustangs beat Howard 44-0, and in 2022, the Mustangs defeated Howard by a score of 45-13. So with that, we're getting ready to do the national anthem here at Howard High School. This is the Cleveland Ford Friday Night Football pregame show. We're going to take let's make it a 3-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have complete breakdown from our keys to the game as well as players to watch tonight for both Howard and Walker Valley. So we'll be back with you here on WCLE 99.1 in 3 minutes.
When I became a Langley roof and my family called and got me ready for winter, I started looking around at the neighbors, and the one next door is missing flashing, the one across the street, the roof cap is all worn. I know their attic is getting drenched, all those memories. One on the other side's missing like 30 shingles. When you're a Langley roof, you know how lucky you are. I didn't cost any more, and Langley took care of the financing. My family, they made it easy on themselves, but most of all, they made it easy on me. LangleyRoofs.com. See a ready roof? Chances are it's a Langley.
At First Horizon, we know if there's a win, there's a way. Our team is here to help every step of the way with personal, business, or private banking. Stop by and visit us at one of our locations in Cleveland or give us a call at 423-559-7660. At First Horizon, we look forward to finding a way.
When life gets busy, Little Caesars can be there to help with hot and ready pizzas and more from 4 to 8 p.m. You can't beat the taste of delicious pizza at a great price and hot and ready for dinner. 3 locations, Paul Hupke Street and McGrady Drive, or order online.
Food. It's our thing. But how you shop for it, that's all you. Order online.
Bread, milk, and fresh baked cookies.
And pick it up curbside.
Thank you.
Or have it delivered straight to your door.
Here's your Food City delivery. Oh, thanks.
With Instacart or DoorDash. Nobody does food like Food City. And now get it straight from our doors to yours.
Caldwell Paving, paving the way in Tennessee since 1958. Caldwell Paving specializes in asphalt paving and seal coating. They serve residential clients, industrial and commercial companies, and subdivision projects. Conveniently located in Charleston, Caldwell Paving serves all of Southeast Tennessee. Caldwell Paving, old surfaces made new. CaldwellPaving.com.
When competition is fierce, sports injuries happen, and Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Saturday sports clinics are available at our Chattanooga and Cleveland offices from August 24th through November 9th for the treatment of non-emergency orthopedic injuries like sprains, strains, and fractures. Doors open at 9 a.m. and no appointment is needed to be seen by our highly trained physicians and clinical staff. Saturday sports clinic dates are subject to change. Check sportmed.com for the latest information. That's sportmed.com.
The Cleveland Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing. 0% for 36 months plus no down payment and no payments for 90 days eligible on 2024 Escapes, Edge, Explorers, Expeditions, F-150s, and the F-150 Lightning at Cleveland Ford. The Summer Sales Event. Exit 20 off I-75 at the bypass. ClevelandFord.com. We are Cleveland. We are Cleveland Ford.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. This is the lead up to kickoff. Cleveland Ford Friday Night Football pregame show here in the Bradley Medical Center broadcast booth. I'm Andy Morris along with former Mustang Brody Swafford, and we are quickly approaching game time as our captains are getting ready to take the field for the coin toss. And again, we are live here at Howard High School in Chattanooga, taking on the Hustlin' Tigers at Reggie White Field, which is pretty cool. I was a big Reggie White fan growing up. Obviously showing my age a little bit there, but Reggie with a Hall of Fame career with the Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, and even before that in the USFL, which, if you're a football history buff, you know what I'm talking about there. But the captains are on the field for the Mustangs, and let's see if we can get some numbers on who that is. I believe I see Troy Deskevich out there. Again, we're on the home side, home press box here, so the Mustangs are across the field, and I believe we've got the Kelly brothers along with number 49, Jack Shant. So those are your captains for the Mustangs. Real quick, as Brody gets this coin toss for us, once again, Springdale Heating and Air, coin toss, Springdale Heating and Air, old-fashioned, friendly, and always more than your money's worth. So let's see if we can get a call on this. So it looks like
we're about to receive the kickoff. Oh, nope.
So it looks like the Mustangs won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. I believe typically that's what Coach Akins likes to do. So I do think that that's probably I just want to confirm before we lie to our listeners, Brody. I think that's what happened there. But once again, that's our Springdale Heating and Air coin toss. With that, we're going to send it back to the station for our 30-second kickoff spot.
Welcome to Infinity of Chattanooga. With an expansive inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Infinity products, make sure Infinity of Chattanooga is on your list of places to shop when it's time for your next vehicle. Sporty coupes, comfortable sedans, and spacious SUVs. Infinity of Chattanooga has it all. Shop online at infinityofchattanooga.com or take a test drive at Infinity of Chattanooga, just off I-75 at the Lee Highway exit.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Mustang football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They're open to the public. And as we wrap up the Cleveland Ford Friday Night Football pregame show, we're going to go on over to our Dell's Heating and Air temperature at kickoff. It is currently 76 degrees here in Chattanooga, and a very comfortable 76 degrees as Brody and I are standing up on top of the press box here on the home side at Howard High School. And again, a beautiful night for high school football as the Howard High School Hustlin' Tiger Band is entering the stadium to our left here. Going to be a fun night of high school football down here in Chattanooga.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got I think it's their breast cancer awareness. It's, the first game they've had in October. They got the pink, confetti things coming out here. Beautiful sunset in the background.
Right over the mountains there. Very, very great scene here at Howard High School. And I tell you what, per usual, the away side for the Walker Valley Mustang faithful completely packed out. We've got our pep band over there as well, as the Mustangs are ready to get this game kicked off. So kicking off for the Mustangs, number 82, Noah Campbell. The kick is up, and it's a good one. It's going to sail all the way down to about the 6-yard line where Howard's going to return. He's at the 20, just shy of the 20-yard line, going to be tackled by number 41 of the Mustangs.
Cooper Godsey.
Yeah, Cooper Godsey. So great coverage there for the Mustangs as Howard is going to start with the ball at their own 18-yard line. So real quick, we're going to go ahead and go on over to your Honda Cleveland starting lineups for the Walker Valley Mustangs on defense. Brody, take it away.
On our defensive line, we've got Troy Deskevich, Lane Ferris, Dylan Sharp, and Jack Schatz. Then we move on back to the linebackers. We've got Caleb Jackson, Braylon Beard, and Tyler Goldman. And then at DBs, we've got Malachi Nunez, Jerry Pugh, Aiden Burns, and Spencer McCoo.
So a little bit of a different look as we've got some names like Mason Alexander along with Michael Wood not at those linebacker and defensive back spots due to injuries. We wish them well as Howard opens with a quick toss to the right, and they're going to actually lose a yard or two on that one.
Yeah, Braylon Beard on the stop in the backfield right there.
And listen, Braylon Beard has been phenomenal.
Hey, he's
for
wearing
this
that
team.
23 good.
That's
I love
right.
That. Love that.
So once again, former Mustang Brody Swafford wore that MJ 23. You know, they say the goats wear 23, so you set the tone for it, Brody, at Walker Valley.
Hey, I was not the first one to set the tone for it. I'll give that all to Bryce Nunley right there.
There you go. That's right. Good job. Bryce Nunley went on to a great career in college, and it's still playing.
Still playing over across the sea.
Yeah.
Across the sea.
That's right. So 11-10 to go here in the first quarter. 2nd down and 10 for Howard after that loss of 2. That's going to be handed off. And that looks like they get just past the original line of scrimmage by about half a yard. And that was number 2, I believe, on the carry for Howard, which, listen, so a couple of players that you're going to hear for Howard quite a bit tonight. Number 2, Fletcher Williams, who's the quarterback, also plays some strong safety on defense. Number 3, Derek Choice, who's the running back for Howard, along with being the free safety on defense. So those 2 individuals, you're going to hear their name a lot on the offensive side of the ball for Howard.
Yeah, and you saw on that first play right there, Fletcher Williams did a great job of carrying some Mustang defenders with him as he hit the hole. Looking for, hopefully not a big game from him, but
3rd down and about 9.5. They're going to go deep, and that ball's going to be overthrown, incomplete. I'll tell you what, number 2, Fletcher Williams just showed off his arm strength right there, standing at about the 17-yard line and threw that one to the opposite 45 and overthrew his receiver. So that's one thing. We didn't get into our keys to the game, but keys to the game, you obviously have got to stop the run against Howard, but be aware, they're going to try to pop it over the top every once in a while. They'll run, and then deep ball. So you've got to pay attention to that. And the Mustangs did a great job on that first drive with that, as they're now 4th and 10 for Howard with 10 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in the first quarter. No score. Howard to punt. It's a decent punt, and that's going to hit just shy of the 50, roll past the 50, all the way down to the Mustang 35-yard line. Once again, where we are here in the home press box, the Mustangs will be working from left to right on the home side where we are. And again, listen, Brody, what a beautiful atmosphere for high school football. You know, we talked about the Mustang fans, how great they travel, but it really is a perfect night. If you're not able to be here, definitely glad you're listening to us on the radio, but it feels great out here. So the Mustangs, the offense taking the field for the first time tonight at their own 34-yard line is where it looks like they've got on the scoreboard. Let's see if that, I was thinking that they had it spotted at the 35. So it looks like the officials are having a conversation. I guess just getting the right football into the game. So now that they've got the football, the Mustangs are going to start this drive at their own 35-yard line. Jacob Curley, the sophomore quarterback, back to take the snap. He hands it off to Javen Hall, who's going to pick up about 4 yards on that carry. Brody, Javen Hall has been an extremely consistent ball carrier for the Mustangs this year. Really, you know, it was a surprise to some of us, but Coach Aiken said, listen, we saw this coming with Javen. He's done a great job running the football all year.
Absolutely. Even going back to last year, they played Polk County. He got in at, the kind of garbage time minutes, and he was able to break off a huge run against Polk County. You can just tell he has he runs like a running back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, very shoulders first type mentality from Javen Hall as he takes that second down carry right to, and that is going to be a first down for Walker Valley. Great job. Looks like he just got to that first down marker. So now Mustangs have the ball at their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10. It's going to be blown dead here. Let's see what the call is here from the officials. I believe there might have been some movement before the snap.
Guys getting a little jumpy on that screen pass coming out there.
Yeah, and that is going to be a snap infraction against the Mustang the Mustangs, excuse me. Once again, all our penalties are sponsored by L&B Appliance. So that one going to back the Mustangs up after the first down. Once again, all our first down sponsored by Bradley Concrete and Lamcon Ready Mix. Over 40 years of experience, family owned. Visit them online at lamcon.us. So 1st and 15 with 8:50 to go here in the first quarter. Still no score. The Mustangs on their first possession. And it's going to be Roman Yulo from the Wildcat. And he's going to get about 6 yards on that carry. Brody, what's your feeling on that Wildcat and seeing Roman run the football?
See, I like it. He's a big guy. He can hit that hole. He's got some speed to him, so he can break it away. I know he doesn't really have that pass in his arsenal, but that kind of run pass option where it's, dual threat, he can hand it off to Javen Hall, who's going to get you 4. Yep. Or he can take it himself, and it keeps the defense on their toes.
You're absolutely right. This is something that Coach Aiken said you might see them expand on out of as well. This one's going to be handed off to McCooch, it looks like, and he's going to be stretched out to the sideline just for about a gain of 1. Yeah, and that was number 8 for the Mustangs, Hudson McCooch on the carry. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 13. So it looks like there is going to be another L&B Appliance holding penalty against the Mustangs. That's going to back them up. So here in this first drive, Brody, penalties hurting the Mustangs.
Absolutely. You can't continuously shoot yourself in the foot on 1st down, 2nd down plays and expect to make big things happen on that drive.
So 8:04 to go here in the first quarter. 2nd down, and it looks more like 20. They've got 2nd and 15 on the scoreboard, but it looks more like about 2nd down and 20. Clock now at 7:55.
We do have Curley back in at quarterback.
And Curley takes the snap. He's going to throw it outside to the receiver. I believe that was once again Hudson McCooch. Just with that quick stop route, which you know a little something about, Brody.
Absolutely, yeah. The key to that play right there is let your line get out there. Let the big guys go out there, do their job.
The blockers in front.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, just a quick stop route. Back in the day, we called it a zero route.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be 3rd and about 13. Ball snap. Curley's going to roll out here to the home side. Pass complete.
Tate's got some room.
That's Tate Roundtree on the reception. He hits the sideline, and it looks like he's going to step out just past the 1st down marker. So great Bradley Concrete, Lamcon Ready Mix 1st down reception for number 10, Tate Roundtree. And, Brody, I got to tell you, I was talking to Tate at lunch today, and I said, Tate, listen, I'm calling it. You're going to have some big receptions tonight. We know that Tate likes to do a lot of the dirty work. He's a great blocker, but seeing him already getting some receptions in this game.
Absolutely. You got to show those guys that get down and dirty. You got to show them some love every now and then.
That's right. So 7:35 to go, 1st and 10. Curley pass incomplete. Looks like he just threw behind his intended receiver, and I believe
Tate Roundtree.
He was throwing to Tate again, yeah.
He had some room out there on the edge, just a little bit behind him.
And that's another thing we talked about with Curley getting his 2nd start at quarterback. You referred to it, Brody. You want to put him in a position to continue to improve, and those underneath routes to Tate are a great way to incorporate the passing game.
Football's all about growth from week to week, so just seeing that from Curley.
Ball handed off to Yulo on the little bit of the orbit route there. Came in motion. They handed it off to Yulo, and he's going to get down to about 2 or 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, I believe. Picked up about 6-7 yards there. Waiting for the official spot. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be about 3 yards shy of that 1st down marker. Curley still at quarterback with 6:58 to go. Still no score here in the first quarter. Mustangs driving on their first possession, and it's Javen Hall. Gets the handoff. He bounces it outside. He's at the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. He holds onto the football but gets drug out, and it is a horse collar, but he was drug out at about the 2 or 3 yard line, and you could tell he was frustrated he didn't get across the goal line, but brought down by the horse collar. And I would imagine had that not happened, he's probably dragging the tackler into the end zone. But a great job by Javen Hall following his blockers. Just kind of, showed a lot of patience there, Brody.
Yeah. He got to that second level where those linebackers are. He was able to make a read, saw that the sideline was wide open, took it right up the sideline. Almost beat him to the corner, but, that horse collar tackle.
Yeah, did a great job bouncing it, as you said, here to the near side. So first and goal for the Mustangs from the 1 yard line. Yulo at quarterback, ball snapped. It's Yulo who's going to take it.
Oh.
He's going to bounce off a would-be tackler and kick it out to the far side and run it in for a Wright Brothers Construction Roman Yulo rushing touchdown. So the Mustangs on the board in their first possession of the game with 6:38 to go in this first quarter. Now, listen, there's so many times where, Wright Brothers Construction, they've been our touchdown sponsor. So many times I've said, and that's a Brody Swafford Wright Brothers Construction touchdown. And getting to pass that along to Roman Yulo here with the 24 Mustangs. The extra point, it looks like it's going to be a little bit wide, and in fact it is. So the extra point is no good. All our extra points are sponsored by Independent Insulation Services, your spray foam experts. So with that, Mustang 6, Howard 0. When we come back, the Mustangs will be kicking off to the Hustlin' Tigers. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Are you noticing cracks in your foundation walls, moisture in your crawl space, water in your basement, or sunken concrete in your driveways or sidewalk? If so, these are classic signs of foundation and settlement issues. You need a local repair team that can solve the problem with a lasting solution. USS has been repairing homes in Chattanooga and throughout Tennessee for 30 years. For peace of mind, schedule your free estimate today at www.usstn.com/Chattanooga.
You're listening to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. And just like that, Brody Swafford, who's with me in the booth tonight, I'm Andy Morris. The Mustangs on top, 6-0. Unfortunately, miss an extra point. Got to get that cleaned up a little bit. But first possession of the game, can't ask for a whole lot more than that.
I mean, with all the penalties that they had going on early, to be able to go down and still be able to score some points, even score a touchdown, that's just, great resilience from them. Great to see from the young quarterback. His first possession out there, he drives down the field. He's able to
completes a couple of passes,
maybe gets those first drive jitters out of the way.
And the kick by number 82, Noah Campbell, is up. Once again, it's going to take a bounce. It's going to be mishandled by the return man of Howard. He's going to pick it up at about the 10-yard line and be tackled just a few yards later as he gets just past the 15 to the 16-yard line. So once again, the Mustang coverage team doing a good job making sure that Howard's not going to get a good return.
Yeah, field position is one of those things that it's often overlooked. You start a drive within your own 15-yard line, your chances of scoring are greatly diminished than whether it's at the 30 or the 40.
And you look at last week, Walker Valley offensively outgained Ray County. Defensively, really did a great job. But field position was huge, and Coach Akins talked about that if you were listening during the pregame show before Brody and I came on. He said that's something that they want to make sure they do a better job of this week. And so far, the coverage team doing a great job, and Howard starting back in their own territory with 6:33 to go at their own, looks like 17-yard line is where they ended up spotting. It's going to be handed off, and the running back for Howard is only going to get about a yard on that play, and I believe that was number 12 for Howard. Need to keep my roster in front of me here. Who is also their middle linebacker, Kamarion Martin. And one thing that I've heard about Kamarion is that he will come up and hit you. He is a hard-hitting linebacker, but showing right there that he's not afraid to tote the rock a little bit, Brody.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's going to be 2nd down and 10. So they're going to say, looking at the chain, so often I refer to the scoreboard. It's actually 2nd down and 9. They've got that posted up wrong on the scoreboard, but 2nd down and 9 for Howard at their own, let's say, 18-yard line. Back in the shotgun formation, handed off to 12, Martin once again, and he has nowhere to go as he's met by Troy Duskevich and Jack Shantz and company. Man, I tell you what, that defensive line for the Mustangs have done a great job all year, and they continue to improve week to week, as you talked about, Brody.
Absolutely. I think the defensive line of Walker Valley has always been one of their strong suits. I think the coach does an absolutely phenomenal job of coaching those guys up about reading their keys, pushing the gap, disrupting everything in the backfield so that they're not able to get to the gap they want to go, get to the sideline, even make a pass.
Yeah, and that's one thing, when you change defensive coordinators, of course, with Coach Harvey departing for Ray County, you've got Coach Henderson now, and it seems like this Mustang defense has not missed a beat. Howard back to pass under a lot of pressure, and he's going to be brought down.
Jack Shantz on the sack right there.
Yeah, number 49, Jack Shantz. And again, those guys play so reckless and wild that they cause a lot of panic for quarterbacks. So that's going to bring up 4th down and about 12 for Howard, deep in their own territory. Their punter's actually going to be standing just outside the goal line at about between the 1 and 2 yard line at about the 1.5 yard marker. Back to return for the Mustangs is number 22. That's Kason Cunningham. Punt nearly blocked. It's going to be a short punt. It's going to hit out of bounds. Let's see where the official marks this one. Out of bounds here. So he's going to give it a favorable mark there. So the Mustangs are going to start this drive at the Howard 42-yard line. So skip this last drive, Brody. Your Honda Cleveland starters on offense for the Mustangs at quarterback, sophomore Jacob Curley, who up to this point tonight is doing a phenomenal job. Running back number 7, Javen Hall, who's already broke a big run. Y-back Tate Roundtree. At receiver, Hudson McCooch, Roman Yulo, and Luke Hayden. And on the offensive line, Lane Kelly, Colbin Levingood, Bryson Farley, Caden Lassen, and Caleb Kelly. So that's going to be handed off to Hall once again, who finds that sideline, Brody, and it's going to be pushed out after a Bradley Concrete Lamcon Ready Mix first down, and it looks like they're going to mark him pushed out right at the 15-yard line.
And I want to just give a quick shout out right there to the receiver blocking down the field, because our coach always told us the line creates gains, the receivers create touchdowns. You got that guy blocking downfield, he's able to get another 15, 20 yards on that run.
All snapped on this first down play. Curley rolls out to the far side. He's got a receiver. It's completed, and he's going to be out of bounds at the 4-yard line, I believe. And I think that was number 16, Luke Hayden, on the reception. Brody, your eyes are better than mine. Is that 16?
That is 16,
okay.
Yeah.
So Luke Hayden, and again, setting Jacob Curley up for these high percentage completion routes. So running the out route, and he delivered a ball right on his numbers.
I mean, that was a rollout across his body. That's not, to
the left side.
Straight side, right?
So once again, the Mustangs inside the 5-yard line, ball at the 3-yard line is where it looks like they marked it at. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, and it's Roman Yulo in the Wildcat formation in to score his second touchdown of the night. Roman Yulo, that Wright Brothers construction touchdown. Again, number 6, Roman Yulo, with 3:15 to go here in the first quarter. So love seeing Roman get in the end zone, but it's funny because I'm going to give him a hard time when I talk to him. We had Javen Hall do all the work on the first drive, and really Jacob Curley, Javen Hall, and Hayden on that drive. So
you think about it, it's just like the Eagles last season. DeAndre Swift runs it down to the 1, Jalen Hurts every single time, quarterback sitting.
Yeah, they do that tush push up there in Philadelphia. This extra point looks a little bit better, and it is better. It is good. Once again, Independent Insulation Services extra point is good. So the Mustangs 13, Howard 0, with 3:15 to go here in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Visit milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682. L&B Appliance is your one-stop appliance shop, locally owned and operated, serving this area for over 30 years. They offer sales and service. L&B Appliance, located on Durkee Road at Highway 64 in Cleveland, 423-339-3231. L&B Appliance, large enough to meet all your home appliance needs, small enough to appreciate your business.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. they are open to the public. With 3:15 to go here in the first quarter, Walker Valley leads Howard on the road down here in Chattanooga, 13-0, as the Mustangs kick it off once again. Another good kick. And that's going to be caught this time by the return man, and he's going to run over one of his own guys past the 20 down to the 22-yard line. Bro, did you ever run over your own guys returning kicks?
Absolutely, and it made me more mad than anything I could ever do.
Yeah, Brody Swafford did a great job in his return days for the Mustangs. A lot of electric plays, and fortunately for us tonight, no electric plays from this Howard return team. And they're starting this drive a little bit better than their first two drives. Just past the 20, it looks like they've got it marked at the 23-yard line. Once again, we're in the home press box here at Howard. So the Mustangs to our left, Howard working from right to left with 3:08 to go here in the first quarter. They're going to come out in a spread set here. And we've seen a few different looks from Howard tonight, Brody. Ball snap, quarterback drops back. Feeling that pressure already. He forces a throw, and it's a complete, impressive catch. And that's number 1 for Howard. That's King Talley, who full extension pulled that ball in.
Absolutely. With no gloves on, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we all know the gloves these days. You know, going back to, again, making myself sound old, but we joke around like we had the leather gloves that you'd spray with Stickum. And you try to make sure you didn't get caught with the Stickum, or the ref would make you take them off. But yeah, these gloves today help you out quite a bit as long as it's dry conditions. But yeah, that young man, full extension, no gloves, able to pull that pass in.
All I'm saying is, Coach, I saw a picture. I think it was Night Train Lane. He had Stickum lined up his arms.
That's right. Ball snapped. Howard, another pass complete to number 5 here on the near sideline. That's going to be about 2 yards shy of a first down for Howard. So number 5, again, that's Zod Dorsey, the receiver. So Howard showing a little bit more of a pass game this drive.
Yeah, I mean, last drive they had that post open. He just overshot it. So I think they're giving him these short under routes, just trying to get him.
Open it up, see what you can get going.
Exactly.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 3 for Howard. They've got the ball at their own 41-yard line. Again, this is the most production they've had offensively tonight. Ball snap. Quarterback drops back, and the play's going to be blown dead. Let's see. That's going to be an L&B appliance penalty. And I believe that's going to be, illegal procedure against the Hustling Tigers of Howard. So that's going to back them up. Definitely not what you want to see if you're a Hustling Tiger, when you finally get a drive going in the right direction and then kind of beat yourself up with a big penalty there.
Right. They ran that exact play that they had just ran a second ago. They had the hitch wide open. They had it complete for a first down, but all that gets wiped off the board with a penalty.
So it's going to be 2nd down and about 9, it looks like, on the field. Howard in the spread set, 2 receivers on each side. Running back to the quarterback's left. He pump fakes. He's coming this direction to the near sideline. He's got a lot of pressure. Troy Descavich just misses him. And he's going to be drilled. Let's get a number for the Mustangs on that.
Number 9.
Great job. Good open field tackle
by Malachi Nunez.
Yeah, Malachi Nunez coming out of the secondary, Brody.
Yeah, and that was just a busted play to begin with. The receiver didn't know that he was supposed to be getting the screen over here. He started blocking. Quarterback was trying to make a play right there, but
saw there was nowhere to go with
made a better play.
Yep. Brody, feel free to cut me off anytime. I'm so used to kind of talking about the play, doing primarily play-by-play tonight. I want you break it down, man. You're doing a great job. So minute 19 to go here in the first quarter. Mustangs up 13-0. Howard definitely got something going on offense with the pass game this drive. You can hear that Mustang band
all the way over here.
Yep, they're got it amped up and ready to go. Howard got trips here to the near side, single receiver to the far, and it looks like there's going to be another snap infraction. That penalty sponsored by L&B Appliance.
Howard actually called a timeout before that.
Okay, good job. So that timeout sponsored by Milligan Vane. Also, we'd like to give a shout out, Voitech Center for Orthopedic Care, for all your orthopedic needs. Visit them online at voitech.com. Also, Chick-fil-A, located on Keith Street and Paul Huff Parkway. Download the Chick-fil-A app today. Yeah, so Brody, so far tonight for Walker Valley, the offense has moved the ball great. We talked about field position being an issue last week. Special teams has done a good job. And up to this drive, defense has really not allowed Howard much of anything. The first time tonight, Howard was able to get a first down in their third series. And that through the air kind of went away from a heavy run game, realizing they could have a little bit of success. And there's some young guys in the secondary for the Mustangs tonight.
Yeah. We're just looking for those young guys to kind of be able to read, like, for themselves, read the offense, like how he's going to play. If they're going to spam hitches the entire game, just know they're about to hit you with a hitch and go. They're trying to hit a big play too. They're not just going to keep hitting the under.
Yeah, Jerry Pugh at corner here. Malachi Nunez on the far side. We've got Aiden Burns at safety. So, obviously, still a lot of experience in the secondary, but Michael Wood is a guy who's usually on the field for the secondary. Ball snap, 3rd and 3 for Howard. Quarterback rolls out here right into Troy Descavich. That is not where you want to go. And Troy, with those long arms, just wraps up the quarterback and drags him down for a massive loss. They're going to give him a little bit of forward progress, but all the way back to the 20-yard line. So, man, I tell you what, it's going to be about
4th and 25.
Yeah, 4th and 25. So punting from about where they've punted every time tonight, unfortunately for Howard, but fortunate for the Mustangs. A great play there by Troy Descavich, bringing the pressure on the Howard quarterback. So looks like they're going to let this clock. Oh, they're going to snap it. So Howard snaps it just before the clock expires. The punt's off. It's a great punt. It's going to be fielded at the Mustang 45, and that's Spencer McCucci's got a decent return, breaks a couple tackles all the way down to the Howard 41-yard line, and that's where the Mustangs are going to start this drive. Dell's Heating and Air. For all your heating and air needs, just call Dells.com. Crown Jeep and Ram headquarters here in Southeast Tennessee, located right off I-75 at exit 20. So that's the end of the first quarter. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Wright Brothers Construction Company Incorporated has over half a century of experience completing some of the most challenging projects across the Southeast, from moving millions of cubic yards of excavation in Alabama to spanning rivers in Virginia. Find out more at WBCCI.com. WBCCI.com. Wright Brothers Construction Company congratulates the student athletes and families of Walker Valley High School and says, "Go Mustangs!"
Selling mattresses the retail way isn't the best way. Most mattresses are made in a large factory and shipped hundreds of miles to a retailer's warehouse, where the retailer then marks them up and up before finally selling and delivering them. At Mermaid Mattress, we are the factory, so we eliminate the extra steps and create a direct line from our factory to you, saving you hundreds of dollars. So experience more than the national chain store can offer and spend your dollars locally. Mermaid Mattress. Better mattress, better price, better sleep, better life.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Mustang football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. Wholesale Supply Group is open to the public. Once again, I'm Andy Morris along with Brody Swafford, former, let's call him a Mustang football legend, up here with us in the booth tonight. Brody's doing a great job. Glad to have you here, Brody.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, man.
So we're starting the second quarter. Mustangs with the football and the lead, 13-0, and they're going to go right back to the well. Javen Hall on the carry.
And that's the play we saw the entire first quarter. I've always been told if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
They keep running that play, they're going to keep getting 6 yards until they bust one wide open.
And we saw Javen that first drive, busted one right open, got pulled down, horse collared at about the 3-yard line there. And as we said, Roman Yulo has been the beneficiary of those calls there, but it looks like the Mustangs put the ball on the ground. This was going to be a pass play too,
but it looked like Javen Hall was able to recover it.
So that's good. We had a couple Mustang receivers streaking down the far sideline. Once again, now in the second quarter, the Mustangs working from right to left where we are here in the home press box. So Javen Hall doing a little bit of everything tonight, not only toting the rock, but doing a good job covering it up on the loose ball. Didn't quite see I think that was on the exchange from the center.
And that's always the worst of the receiver. You know it's a big pass play. You're running deep, and you look back, the ball's on the ground.
You just kind of sigh, oh, man.
I hope we got it back.
11-17 to go till halftime. Curley at quarterback, nowhere to go as he was being flushed out of the pocket, ran straight into a blitzing linebacker.
Yeah, that was number 53, Ronte Taylor for Howard on that play right there.
So Jacob Curley was brought down with his back to the 50-yard line. They're going to have it marked at the 49-yard line. And with that, Coach Akins is going to bring on his punt team. This punt sponsored by Cleveland Utilities. Again, a Cleveland Utilities power punt. So that's going to be number 82, Noah Campbell, on to punt for the Mustangs, I believe. Or is that 28? I think it's
28.
Yeah, that's 28, Dylan True. 4th down and 11. And there was a little bit of early motion, it looked like, from the Mustangs. Another L&B appliance penalty. Something you don't want to see this far into the season, multiple penalties like this that we've had here in the first half.
Especially on a special teams play. You don't want to see, a procedural penalty to back them up even further.
So it looks like they're actually going to say that was on Howard. Well, they fooled both of us.
Oh, nope. They're walking it
So
back.
he just started walking the wrong way. Yeah, the official started marching it off the wrong direction. So that was the L&B appliance penalty was against the Mustangs. So now number 28, punter, senior Dylan True, standing right about the 32-yard line, his own 32. Good snap. Punt is up. And it's going to hit at the opposite 30-yard line, and the Mustang coverage group is going to stop the ball at about the 23-yard line, and that is where Howard is going to take over here in the second quarter. Once again, the score, Mustangs 13, Hustling Tigers 0. Once again, Voitech Center for Orthopedic Care. For all your orthopedic needs, visit them online at voitech.com. So, Brody, the Mustang defense tonight, just kind of seeing now, knowing what Howard's looking to do. They came out heavy run. They started to kind of air the ball out a little bit, but while also trying to use their quarterback, give him room, just kind of give him that run-pass option.
Right.
What are you seeing there for the Mustangs?
I think, for the most part, they're doing a great job. The defensive line is getting enough pressure on the quarterback that it really disrupts everything. The only thing he's got that he's been able to hit consistently is those hitches on the sideline to the boundary.
Yeah, again, a huge shout out to the Mustang defensive line. Troy Descavis, Jack Shantz, Dylan Sharp, and Lane Ferris, the sophomore, out there tonight as well. And it looks like Howard might have, by some reactions, it looked like they might have put the ball on the ground, but I don't think that's the case because the Mustangs don't look too excited. That's going to actually be a gain of about 1.5 yards for Howard. So that's going to bring up second down. Let's call it second down and 8 with 9:34 to go until halftime.
Howard's got this old style, run the play in, wing T type coaching style.
I like that. Listen, that's what I used to have to do. So that I like you calling it old style.
No. I'm not calling you old, Coach.
Listen, I'm kind of getting used to it now. I'm definitely getting there. But yeah, not too many huddles anymore. You see guys just kind of, everyone's on the same page. Things have advanced so much. It's really, really impressive just kind of seeing the evolution of the game, especially offensively with the spread sets and everything. But I like a little old school I-form wing T football and stuff like that too. Ball handed off, tackled. Let's get a number for the Mustangs.
21.
That was number 21, Jeremiah Pugh, the corner, doing a good job containing. And I believe that was number 2 on the carry for Howard, Fletcher Williams, the quarterback. So it looks like he's actually the one who's coming over to get the play.
He's got to be exhausted.
I tell you, that's something that you really don't want to have to do if you're the one running the offense.
You're running back and forth.
Yeah.
You're running the offense. Then you go straight back on defense.
Call him the marathon man. 8:15 to go until halftime. Mustangs still leading 13-0. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for Howard at their own 22-yard line. Ball snap. It looked like that was supposed to be a handoff. There was no running back there as the Howard quarterback just slings it downfield. And there, again, showing off that strong arm. No one there, though. Good coverage from Spencer McCooch at the safety position, as him and Aiden Burns have done a great job tonight as far as taking the deep threat away. And anytime they've thrown the deep ball, it's been overthrown.
Right. And you saw right there the speed from Spencer McCooch. He watched the ball leave the quarterback's hand. He was able to catch up to the receiver and, close that gap, make it to where the receiver didn't have a chance to make a play on the ball.
Yeah, great play recognition there, Spencer McCooch. Listen, we saw Spencer kind of as the primary running back at the beginning of the year with some injuries and some things that have happened on defense, and the emergence of Javen Hall as well. It's nice. We still have him as an option at running back, but he gets to primarily kind of concentrate in the secondary after a great punt from Howard. That one's going to roll all the way down to the Mustang 34-yard line. Very good punt from Howard. So Mustangs, the field gets flipped a little bit there for Walker Valley.
That's one of those that you would like to catch if you were a returner, because it bounced at probably the 50-yard line and then started to roll.
Yeah, try to get a fair catch.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, one thing that I remember about Brody Swafford is he did not like to fair catch. It didn't matter if there was traffic. You would catch the ball and you would go, boy. I tell you what.
I absolutely hated punts. They are the worst.
That's a lot of pressure.
Catching punts is the worst thing in football.
That's a lot of pressure.
Kickoff return, love it.
Yeah, listen, if you don't catch the ball, you can pick it up.
Time.
Yeah.
You got time.
But
punt return,
everybody's people running around you. Yeah, that's not fun at all. Ball handed off to Javen Hall up the middle, following the flow show. Great job, the Mustang offensive line, as we so often refer to them as the flow show with those awesome long hairstyles. Yeah, the luscious locks. That's going to be a Bradley Concrete Lamcon Ready Mix first down. Mustangs running quick here. Curley hands off to Hall once again, and Hall another 5 yards on that carry. Maybe more, a little bit more close to 4 yards, but he's going to check out, and almost on cue, Spencer McCooch in at running back. So, Brody, what do you think about how Curley's handled the offense here in the second start?
I think he's done a lot better than he did against Ray County. I think he's a lot calmer. I think
as he rolls out and completes, should have been completed. That one looked like Tate Roundtree had to kind of drop to the turf to try to catch that one. Ball hit him in the chest and bounced off his chest. Tate's usually pretty sure-handed,
right.
so we'll give him a little grief on that one.
Yeah, but going back to what I was saying, Curley, right there, he had a guy in his face, and he was able to make a throw, hit, Tate right in the chest. He wouldn't have made that throw a week ago. So I think it's just building him up little by little.
Ball snap, handed off to McCooch up the middle. He's going to break for a first down and more, and continues to go all the way down to the Howard 30-yard line. So first carry for Spencer McCooch. What a burst there for him.
Especially on a third down and 6.
Yeah.
That was a big-time play from him.
Yeah, listen, one thing, those of you that get on social media and follow all the cool football accounts and everything, they say the most common dad quote, and I catch myself saying it, this is a big third down. So Curley back to pass. He's going to air it out for the receiver. Wide open into the end zone. Touchdown. Hudson McCooch
was just able to get behind the defense right there. Catch it wide open. Great pass from Curley. Looked a little funky coming out, but it got there. Got the job done.
Yeah, he laid it up there and allowed his receiver to run underneath it. And you said that was Hudson McCooch on the reception. So Wright Brothers Construction touchdown, Hudson McCooch. And let me tell you what, Jacob Curley's got an arm. He got some air under that one and floated it into the end zone.
I mean, Hudson didn't even break stride, it looked like.
Yeah, perfect ball there. So, again, talk about a huge moment for Jacob Curley. Touchdown pass. Extra point looks to be good. We've got those cleaned up, so good deal there. Once again, all of our extra points are sponsored by Independent Insulation Services. With that, the Mustangs on the board again, 20-0 here at Howard with 6:33 to go till halftime. again, you got to like what you're seeing from this Mustang offense. Real quick, we're going to take a 30-second break and be back here for this region game at Howard. Mustangs 20, Howard 0.
The Billy Haney Meat Company has been serving this community for 56 years, locally owned and operated and open to the public. Feel free to call or just walk in to get all of your bulk food needs with no membership required. Keep your chest freezer stocked with frozen and fresh hamburger patties and frozen chicken of all types. The Billy Haney Meat Company literally has it all. Those square pizzas we all loved in school, they have those too. And they keep a large supply of your favorite candy and chips. Call the Billy Haney Meat Company at 336-2468 or visit them at 2154 Old Charleston Road.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1 FM, your exclusive home of Mustang football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. Mustangs up 20-0 with 6:33 to go. Yeah, that one's going to be fielded. Great kick at about the 3-4 yard line, and the return man for Howard is going to be met by a bunch of Mustangs. And he's going to be brought down at the 33-yard line. But, yeah, what a kick there.
That was a great kick, and you kind of hate to see it because their best return came on his best kick.
Yeah. Almost kind of out-kicked the coverage a little bit there.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say before too long he's going to be putting those into the end zone for some touchbacks.
Is he a sophomore?
Yeah, I believe so. That was
Noah Campbell.
Yeah, Noah Campbell. No, Noah's a senior. Yeah.
Senior.
Yeah, number 82, Noah Campbell, the senior. But, yeah, as this season's went on, he's kicked the football further and further, so a great progression there. And as long as you can get your coverage team down there quick enough to cover it, that's usually a pretty good recipe. 6:25 to go until halftime. Once again, Mustangs up 20-0. Howard starting this drive again at their own 33-yard line. And the Mustangs showing, looks like they've got about 7 guys in the box with a safety creeping up there. There's going to be a penalty on the field. Once again, that's an L&B appliance penalty. So that penalty is going to be on, let's see if we can get a number on. That's actually going to be on Howard, so that's going to back Howard up inside their own 25-yard line. Ball snap. Quarterback rolling out here to the near side. That's going to be contested and incomplete, but that looked like Jeremiah Pugh went up, tried to get a hand on it, did a good job. For a second, I thought he was going to bite and try to get an interception there. Yeah, hey, listen, if I ever mess up on yardage, you correct me. I don't care, man.
Well, I wasn't going to correct you the second time. I was kind of like,
yeah, do it. I'm not paying attention, obviously. So 6:20. Listen, usually, so when Jacob's here, there's certain things that he does and so I'm kind of catching myself doing things that I normally do that I don't need to be doing, but trying to cover all these live reads. Ball snapped. Another deep ball from Howard. That one's going to be intercepted by number 1, Spencer McCooch.
That was just a ball player making plays. I mean, he was middle field safety right there, read the seam route, came over there, made a play on the ball.
Yeah, once again, the corner for the Mustangs, and I believe that was actually number 27 in at corner on that play. Number 27 is linebacker Tyler Goldman, was in great coverage. But Spencer came over the top, as you said, saw the ball, went up, high-pointed the football, and you nailed it in an athletic play. So a big turnover there. Mustangs up 20-0, 5:56 on the clock until halftime. Chick-fil-A located on Keith Street, Paul Huff Parkway, and you can download the Chick-fil-A app today. Also, Crown, your Jeep and Ram headquarters in Southeast Tennessee. They're located off I-75 at exit 20. So it looks like before the ball was snapped,
timeout Howard.
Yeah, that's going to be a Milligan Vane timeout Howard. With that, we're going to take a timeout, a 30-second timeout here from Howard. Mustangs 20, Howard 0.
Is your home too hot in the summer and too cold in the winter? At Central Heat and Air, your local HVAC experts, we've got you covered. Our top-notch technicians provide fast, reliable service to keep your home comfortable year-round. From installation to maintenance, we handle it all. You'll never be left out in the cold or the heat. Call Central Heat and Air today at 423-478-7778. That's 423-478-7778. Or visit us online at docsair.com. That's DOCSAIR.com. Central Heat and Air, your healthy home company.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1 FM, your exclusive home of Mustang football supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They're open to the public. Once again, in the booth with me tonight, Brody Swafford filling in for Jacob. Jacob, who, again, we're going to give him a hard time. You know, he just picks and chooses when he wants to do football games.
I guess I heard Matt Paris, 2 weeks ago, he was on here, so I guess he's just,
Yeah, well, that was my fault.
Okay, all right.
So listen, I can dish it out, but I can take it too. So 1st and 10 Mustangs, they've got the ball just shy of their own 45-yard line. That's handed off to number 7, Javen Hall, for about an 8-yard gain. Yeah, Javen Hall does a great job just making sure that if he's being brought down, he's moving forward.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Mustangs. Once again, they've got a 20-0 lead over the Hustling Tigers here at Howard with 5:30 to go till halftime. And, you know, we talked about it during pregame. It's pretty cool to look down on the field. They've got from about the 39-yard line all the way to the 16-yard line. They've got a big logo that says Reggie White Field. And on the carry there for the Mustangs, Javen Hall again, and that's going to be a Bradley Concrete Lamcon Ready Mix 1st down with Javen Hall getting here to the near sideline, bouncing it outside. But, yeah, that Reggie White logo, again, on both sides of the field, someone like that, what a huge honor. And they take a lot of pride in what Reggie White was able to accomplish, not only his time here at Howard as a player, but, you know, going on to play for the Tennessee Vols and going on in the NFL, having a Hall of Fame career. So Curley, quick snap, drop, incomplete. Oh, it's intercepted. Number 6 for Howard is going to take it down the sideline. He's all the way down to the 10, the 5, touchdown, and that was just what could possibly go wrong. That ball just a little overthrown. Roman Yulo goes up to try to high point it, and it was just out of reach, and he knocked it straight into the defender's hands. And again, in stride, I thought he knocked it to the ground for a second. I kind of stumbled and almost said incomplete until I saw him streaking down the sideline.
Yep.
But just an unfortunate circumstance there for Roman Yulo. Usually the sure-handed receiver goes up and tries to make a play on a ball that was just a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, the offense for Howard wasn't getting the job done, so they had to turn to the defense right there.
Yeah, and listen, those are the kind of plays that, again, you're getting beat 20-0 at home here in the first half, and that can spark some energy. We heard these fans here at Howard right below us getting excited, so, you know, that's part of Friday Night Football. I got to come back from it and correct that mistake.
They're stomping the bleachers in here, and, you know, that's just an unfortunate play.
Yeah.
He was in the right place at the right time. Just, you know, a ball that was thrown a little bit too high.
Extra point is up, and I believe it went off the goalpost. It did. Wide left, no good. So the score 20-6 in favor of the Mustangs with 4:54 to go. We're going to take a 30-second break. Let's make it a 1-minute break, and we'll be right back.
Not all composite decking is the same. Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, exit 20 off I-75 and cleveland-nissan.com, home of the lifetime warranty. Also a great pre-owned inventory and an excellent service department as well. Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, family owned and operated. Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, cleveland-nissan.com, exit 20 off I-75.
Welcome to Infinity of Chattanooga. With an expansive inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Infinity products, make sure Infinity of Chattanooga is on your list of places to shop when it's time for your next vehicle. Sporty coupes, comfortable sedans, and spacious SUVs. Infinity of Chattanooga has it all. Shop online at infinityofchattanooga.com or take a test drive at Infinity of Chattanooga, just off I-75 at the Lee Highway exit.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1 FM, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. And I tell you what, Brody Swafford and I are open to the radio call tonight for the Mustangs. Glad to have Brody with us, filling in for Jacob Mason. Again, Mustangs up 20-6 after that unfortunate interception. And the kickoff is caught at the 25. And he's going to take it and be brought down just across the 35. And I believe that was Spencer McCooch on the return, brought down just across the 35 at about the 37-yard line is where I believe they're going to mark it. Brody, if you could just kind of talk about that interception play.
So that play, it was really no one's fault. I mean, it was a ball that was going to go out of bounds. Roman's just an athlete. He went up to try to make a play, was able to get one hand on it. The defender was just in the right place at the right time. It fell straight in his hands. I mean, you would normally, like, a corner's like driving on the ball. He's making the tackle. His head's down. He's not looking for it. He was just a little late, and the ball just fell right into his hands.
Yeah, as you said, usually a corner's going to try to break up the pass when they're that late, just try to make a hit as the ball's getting there. But he was just kind of hanging out at the right spot, as we said during the break. And on this carry, I believe that Spencer McCooch, looks like that's going to be about a gain of 5 or 6 yards, and that was Spencer McCooch, number 1, the running back for the Mustangs. Between him and Javen Hall, this Howard defense has not got a break between that constant rushing attack behind the Mustang flow show offensive line.
And I think even the rushing attack, you've got Spencer McCooch back there. You got a pass game there, too. You can hit him out of the backfield. And so that's open at any point in the game.
On cue, handed off to Spencer McCooch once again up the middle, and he's going to be brought down just across the 50, down to the, it looks like 47-yard line of Howard. So that's another Bradley Concrete Lamcon Ready Mix first down. Howard thought they got a fumble, but that play was blown dead as McCooch hit the turf. So we've got some Billy Haney Meat Company scoreboard updates. We've got a bunch rolling in here, actually. So at halftime, Farragut leads Bradley 21-14. In the second quarter, how about the Cleveland Blue Raiders with a 21-14 lead on Charlotte Christian out there in Charlotte, North Carolina? So actually, that was just corrected. Charlotte 21, Cleveland 14. So when I saw that, I was thinking, man, Charlotte, a very, very good program. Cleveland went out to play. So Charlotte 21, Cleveland 14. Ray County trailing McMinn 14-6 in the second quarter. So those are some big games. East Hamilton beating Ooltewah at halftime 21-0. Also, Baylor beating McCallie 27-0.
Ooh, Baylor beating McCallie 27-0.
27-0. Man, there's
that's number 1 and number 2 in the state, right?
I believe so. And listen, there's no love lost in that matchup. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they do these hype videos for the games. These kids are out of control.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, get on YouTube and check those out. They're very entertaining.
Well, if I went to the championship game last year between Baylor and McCallie, so if the hype videos are anything like that championship game where Finley Stadium that holds, however many thousand people, tens of thousands of people, that is packed.
Curley drops back to pass, has an open receiver. It's Roman Yulo. He's going to make up for it. Another great ball from Jacob Curley, and Roman Yulo is in for a Wright Brothers Construction touchdown.
Number 3's got a hat trick.
Tell you what, man.
That was a good throw from Curley. A little bit late. He saw him late. Roman was able to get behind the defense, but he put that on the line enough to where he could get down there. The defender couldn't catch up, and Roman was able to walk in.
It almost worried me for a second because he was on so much of a rope. The last one we saw him kind of get some air under it for his last touchdown pass, but he, again, showing off the arm strength, and Roman Yulo in stride catches that ball for a touchdown. Again, the Wright Brothers Construction touchdown. Extra point, snap, hold, kick. It is no good once again. So the Mustangs lead this one 26-6 with 3 minutes and 16 seconds until halftime. With that, we're going to take a 1 minute break, and we'll be right back here on 99.1.
As a homeowner, I'm always looking for peace of mind, especially when I have a costly unplanned expense, like a cooling system repair or replacement. That's when I turn to the free eScore home evaluation program offered by Cleveland Utilities. This program offers invaluable advice from experts trained and approved by TVA. A network of contractors are licensed and insured, so you can be assured the job will be done right and inspected for free. Sign up online at www.2escore.com or call Cleveland Utilities at 472-4521 to learn more. Always looking for ways to help our community. We are Cleveland Utilities, your hometown connection.
Are you looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle? Toyota of Cleveland has you covered with the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in the beautiful city of Cleveland, Tennessee. With an expert sales team, Toyota of Cleveland would love to put you in the vehicle of your dreams. Top-notch service team, expert sales team, and the largest pre-owned selection. Why look anywhere else but Toyota of Cleveland? Exit 20 and online at toyotaofcleveland.com. Toyota of Cleveland cares.
Welcome back. We're live at Howard High School. Mustangs with a 26-6 lead as this one is kicked all the way inside the 10, once again to about the 5-yard line. Howard is going to return that one to about the 23-yard line. So another solid kick there for the Mustangs, number 82, senior Noah Campbell. So 3:08 till halftime. Mustangs 26, Howard 6. And very impressive play series. That whole last series was impressive for Walker Valley, but that touchdown pass from Curley to Yulo, we were talking about it during the break, just showing off the arm strength, Jacob Curley. Yeah, so McMinn leading 14-6 over Ray. That Billy Haney Meat Company scoreboard update, a big region game there. Region implications.
Absolutely, because if McMinn's able to hold on there, Walker Valley still plays McMinn at the end of the season.
That's right.
Or is it the end of the season?
Yeah.
I remember it was like game 10 last year.
Yep, sure is. Yeah, McMinn's had some tough luck this year up to this point. Their record it's not an accurate indication of how good of a football team they are, as the Mustangs are going to tackle the ball carrier for Howard for a loss here. Looks like we've got Tyler Goldman in on the tackle, along with Braylon Beard, Diskevich, that whole crew up there. Dylan Sharp, a great pursuit there by the Mustang defense.
Yeah, and it started with number 5, Troy Diskevich. I mean, he broke through almost immediately. The running back had to cut it upfield. And there's Goldman. There's that entire linebacker core just right there.
2:35 to go till halftime. Mustangs up 26-6. It's going to be 2nd down and 11 for Howard. Back at their own 21-yard line, I believe, is where that's marked at. Tell you what, the chains are not lined up correctly. That's one thing that's messing with me, too. So ball snap, pitch here to the near side for Howard. Good pursuit. Once again, Troy Diskevich there, along Aiden Burns coming up from the safety position. A great pursuit from number 5, Troy Diskevich, off the defensive end spot. Man, I tell you what, Troy, he played quite a few snaps last year, defensively specifically. We see him come in on those 2 tight end sets offensively. But you want to talk about a young man that is not just physically grown into himself, just a big, strong kid with great length. But just he's so intelligent. He's a student of the game. He does a good job just kind of anticipating things before they even happen.
Right, and you can tell just by the way he was able to shoot through the gaps on there to get into the backfield. He's recognizing, this is a run off tackle, and he's setting that edge so that the running back can't really go anywhere.
2:03 on the clock here in the second quarter. Once again, this is an L&B Appliance timeout. I believe that was Howard that took that timeout. Both teams have used all their timeouts. Dell's Heating and Air, for all your heating and air needs, just call Dells.com. Chick-fil-A, located on Keith Street and Paw Huff Parkway. Download the Chick-fil-A app today. Brody, what's your go-to at Chick-fil-A, man?
You see, I'm an entree type of guy. I don't get the meals. I get, for the protein, I get a number one, just the sandwich, and then I get a 12 count, just the nuggets.
There you
and
go.
then a water to drink.
Ball snap for Howard, looking for the deep ball once again. What an arm. And this one's going to be batted down by the corner number 21, Jeremiah Pugh, who was in great coverage just over top of the receiver.
Almost the exact same play as the pick from earlier from Spencer McCooch. He's on his way over there to get that. Jerry Pugh just made a great play on that.
Yeah, that's one thing. If you're Howard, you might want to throw a post route in underneath that to try to make Spencer McCooch stay true to that post route to keep that one-on-one coverage. But again, the Mustang secondary doing a great job. Again, we talked about it. Michael Wood inactive tonight, and I was able to talk with Michael today, and he said, "Listen, these guys are going to take care of business." So, Michael, he was absolutely right. This Mustang secondary doing a phenomenal job tonight as they lead again 26-6.
And Michael would have loved to play in this game just because they're passing the ball a lot.
And he likes to attack the football.
He loves the football.
No, you're exactly right. Yeah, so going back to Chick-fil-A, my wife gets so mad at Maddox and I because my son Maddox, he's a 30 count nugget guy. He's like, get me the big box. And
absolutely.
And so I want nuggets too. And I'm like, well, get me the 12 piece, I guess, and I'll eat some of Maddox's. And then
he's not gonna he's not gonna let you have it.
That's right. But yeah, I actually like the parfaits. So parfaits are pretty good.
There. I haven't had a parfait since McDonald's had parfaits.
Ball snap. That punt is going to be fielded and scooped, not fielded. It's muffed and scooped up by Howard. So Howard is going to have the ball first down at about their own 47-yard line. So the return man for the Mustangs, didn't see who that was. It was 22. Yeah, once again, number 22 is Kason Cunningham.
That's just one of those things. I was talking about it earlier. Yeah, you want to catch the football on and not let it bounce anymore, but you also got to play situational. There's a minute 46. Howard hasn't been able to get really a first down in the last 3 possessions.
And you got to judge if you can get the ball.
You got to judge if you can get it. And if you're leaning forward trying to catch it, your chances of catching that are pretty slim.
Yeah, one of those teaching moments for Coach Akins and the staff, I'm sure. They're going to make sure that doesn't happen again. But a minute and 46 seconds to go until halftime. The Mustangs with that 26-6 lead. It's kind of hard to say, 26-6.
Yeah. If either teams could make the extra
point. That's right. We got to clean up the special teams play a little bit. So 1st and 10, Howard, they've got a man in motion. Ball snap. And a little trickery there. They show the running back that was in motion took it on a little bit of just a bounce out route, but cut back to the far side of the field and hits the sideline and picks up some. I did not anticipate.
I don't know that was the play design. Yeah. I'm going to be honest because he bounced out of the backfield. I watched Aiden Burns fly up the field pre-snap read, coming to blitz and light him up. But I think he was just going out there being an athlete. Reverse field was able to get 9 yards.
Let's see what we can make happen.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, we're getting some shout-outs, Brody. Real quick, Chad Denton says to let you know that Daniel and he said hello and that you're doing a great job. Also, Mr. John Burrows, assistant principal at Walker Valley High School, gives us a shout-out and says the Mustang band getting it going, and they sure are. But yeah, what a very athletic play. So I believe it was the receiver that was in motion, and it was supposed to just be just a quick dump off in the backfield. But as soon as he got the ball, he immediate cut back to the far side where he came from. And, it kind of reminded me almost of some stuff that Devin Hester used to do back in the day.
Yep.
Just kind of, out of the playbook. Let's see what we can make happen.
Just get the ball to our playmaker. Hey, go make a play.
Yep.
A minute left on the clock. Let's see if we can get some points right here.
Yeah, and again, he was just shy of that first down marker. So it's going to be 2nd down and 1 for Howard with 53 seconds until halftime. Mustangs leading 26-6. I'm gonna try not to run those together anymore.
I believe they're trying to correct the scoreboard right now. Put less time on there.
Okay, so they're going to say that the clock did not run enough. They stopped it a little too soon. So
they're saying he got out of bounds, and they're putting 1:23 back up.
Okay, so just some communication issues here between the press box and the officials on the field. Yeah, very appreciative of all our sponsors, Voitech Center for Orthopedic Care, Dell's Heating and Air, Chick-fil-A, and Crown. So still trying to get the clock figured out here. They set it. It looks like it's going to be 1 minute and 23 seconds. 2nd down and 1 for Howard. Again, in that spread set, they've got twins to both sides. Single running back in the backfield. Ball snapped. Handed off to the running back. He cuts up the middle, and he's going to have enough for the first down. Down to the 35, to the 30, inside the 30, down to about the 27-yard line of Walker Valley.
That was just an athletic play by number 12 there, Kamarion Martin for Howard. He just was able to make a couple guys miss in traffic. Just busted open a wide open play.
Yeah, number 12, as you said, one of those guys that we talked about that, you know, the defense definitely revolves around him at the middle linebacker position, makes a lot of plays, but also seeing him run the football, very good field vision for him there. Could have been tackled much sooner, did a good job avoiding a couple tackles. So 45 seconds, the clock continuing to run, ball snapped, quarterback keeper, he's going to force the throw, it's going to be overthrown, incomplete, so that'll stop the clock with 38 seconds. Again, good coverage, and I believe that was Hudson McCooch over there on the far side. They're pretty far. That was actually Nunez. Yep. Listen, if it's a number 6, 8, or a 9, I couldn't tell you right now.
Meshed together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, what a great night for high school football. Obviously, Bradley being the only game in town tonight. The Blue Raiders in Charlotte, North Carolina, and your Walker Valley Mustangs here in Chattanooga. We said it was, 76 degrees?
It feels great right now.
Yeah, at kickoff, and it does feel great right now. It's got to be around 70 degrees. Very comfortable. Not quite fall-like temperatures yet, but definitely great weather to enjoy this game. So ball snap for Howard. Quarterback drops back. He's looking nowhere to go with the ball, and once again wrapped up by number 5, Troy Discavich.
Yeah, and that pressure right there by Troy Discavich, it was perfectly timed, because right as he did that, right as he got in the quarterback's face, the dig route came open from this receiver, and that's who he was looking at. But it just took way too long to develop. Troy Discavich is too fast. He's in the backfield, able to make a play right there.
Yeah, listen, number 2 for Howard, Fletcher Williams, very athletic quarterback, has shown off his arms. He's got a great arm as well. He was looking to go deep there, as you said, but that young man is going to be having nightmares of number 5 in his face.
Troy Discavich is living in the backfield.
Yeah, Troy Discavich is one of those guys I like to talk about him a lot. Wrestles for me at Walker Valley. He's an all-state wrestler as a junior, coming back this year as a senior. Plans to wrestle in college. But I've even told Troy, listen, man, don't count football out. If you want to play football at the next level, you could definitely do that too. But Troy, 4.0 GPA, a great student athlete, something you know a little bit about, Brody. Does a good job balancing the two. Really, the 3.
Yeah, I mean, now getting to college, college wrestling is a different level.
No doubt about it. Troy's all about it, though, and he loves Friday nights, and he loves getting on the mat as well, so very impressive young man.
I mean, from the looks of it, he could do both in my eyes, but
that's tough, man. There's been guys do it, and I told Troy that, but yeah, but both of those, when you talk about playing at the next level, it is a job.
Mm-hmm. You're putting in more than 40 hours.
So Howard drops back to pass another deep ball. And that was good coverage, making sure there's no penalty there.
Nunez on the coverage again.
Yeah, great coverage from him.
Great
Malachi
ball.
Nunez.
Great ball from number 12 there. Just even better defense.
Yeah, Nunez actually kind of got beat on the route a little bit, but did a good job staying, catching back up, and just put his arms up at the right time. I wanted to make sure. That's why I kind of paused there, because we've seen flags for less.
For way less, yeah.
So, again, great coverage there by number 9, the corner for the Mustangs, Malachi Nunez. And again, the quarterback for Howard Williams having to try to time that and find that soft spot in the pocket to have enough time to throw the ball downfield. That's one thing. If they could probably work in some out routes, some slants, some different things, they're going with these streaks down the sidelines, and he's definitely got the arm to do it. But the Mustang secondary's done a phenomenal job adjusting, knowing, hey, protect over the top.
Yeah.
18 seconds to go till halftime. It's 4th down and 1. And
4th and 20.
I'm looking at the scoreboard again. 4th and 20. Quarterback
under duress.
Yep. Heaves it deep.
Oh.
That's caught at the 15-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down, Brody.
Wow. The clock stops too. Do they have any timeouts?
Both teams out of timeouts. So they run back. The quarterback was on the ground. So this ball's going to get spotted. The clock's going to start. It looked like he was injured right after, but his teammates pull him up and say, run down here. We have 9 seconds. They're going to get set. There's going to be a flag because they were all not set. A shot to the end zone, and that's going to be intercepted. They're going to say they were out of bounds. Once again, Spencer McCooch came down with that ball, but they're going to say out of bounds. But there was a penalty marker on the field. The receiver on the far side, Brody, was not set. Still running to the line when they snapped that ball. So I believe in that scenario, that's an automatic runoff. So that's going to take us to halftime. Once again, that L&B Appliance penalty. We're going to end on the penalty, which very rarely happens. But the score at halftime, Walker Valley 26, Howard 6. And what a fun first half. Brody Swafford in the booth with me, Andy Morris tonight, having a good time as he fills in for Jacob Mason. And I tell you what, we're going to come back for the halftime show, the Southland Finance halftime show. And when we come back, we're going to break down the first half. Mr. Rob Varner is going to provide us with our stats, have a full stat breakdown. Obviously, Roman Yulo, Jacob Curley having a big night, Javen Hall, and then Spencer McCooch, an interception. A lot going on in the first half. We'll have a full breakdown here in about 5 minutes during the Southland Finance halftime show. Once again, Mustangs 26, Howard 6. We'll 5.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians from $22.17 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, and vision insurance. Paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply at Duracell.com.
Bradley Concrete and Lamcon Ready Mix is a family-owned business and has been serving Cleveland for 40 years. They work with customers large and small. Call Bradley Concrete at 423-479-4541 or visit lamcon.us to find out more.
Food. It's our thing. But how you shop for it, that's all you. Order online.
Bread, milk, and fresh baked cookies.
And pick it up curbside.
Thank you.
Or have it delivered straight to your door.
Here's your food city delivery. Oh, thanks.
With Instacart or DoorDash. Nobody does food like Food City. And now get it straight from our doors to yours.
Did you know that Honda Accord is America's best-selling car for the past 50 years? Serious. Folks love their Accords, and you will too at Honda Cleveland, because you can get 1.9% financing on all 24 Accords, all trim levels included. 1.9% financing on Accord. Or if a pre-owned Honda fits your budget better, check out Honda Cleveland's true certified pre-owned Hondas with an awesome warranty. 3-day exchange policy, 24/7 roadside assistance, and more.
We've had a long-standing relationship with the folks up at Honda of Cleveland, and it sounds cliche, but they've always treated us like family, and we always go back to Honda of Cleveland.
Now you can get service, parts, and tires and pay for it over time with up to 3 months interest-free, no hard credit check, and a 90% approval rate, only at Honda Cleveland. Proud to be local family-owned and the Chattanooga region's only Honda President's Award winner 3 years in a row. Honda Cleveland. Your car, your way, every day. I-75 exit 20, 1 mile east. Hope to see you soon.
It's time to come home to Jenkins Deli, Cleveland and Bradley County's heritage restaurant for over 40 years. The owners of Jenkins have raised the bar in food quality, expanded the bar menu with new seating, new televisions. And now Jenkins has a Sunday brunch. You have to try Jenkins' new barbecue, including smoked pork and brisket. Live music on the Jenkins patio every Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Dinner specials. It's time to come home to Jenkins. Follow Jenkins Deli on Facebook.
Turn your world yellow with Mayfield Dairy this fall. Whether you're wrapping up a workout or craving a tasty afternoon treat, our rich chocolate milk replenishes nutrients and provides high-quality protein to keep you going. Grab some Mayfield milk today and experience real, southern, sunny goodness in every sip. From our iconic yellow jugs to our delicious chocolate milk, everything tastes better with Mayfield. Turn your world yellow because the best moments are made with Mayfield Dairy.
White Brothers Construction Company Incorporated has over half a century of experience completing some of the most challenging projects across the Southeast, from moving millions of cubic yards of excavation in Alabama to spanning rivers in Virginia. Find out more at WBCCI.com. WBCCI.com. Wright Brothers Construction Company congratulates the student athletes and families of Walker Valley High School and says, "Go Mustangs!"
Hey guys, this is Dan Good from Crown. Just reminding you that Crown Jeep is Cleveland and Bradley County's Jeep headquarters.
ESPN Radio returns to Southeast Tennessee. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM is the new home of the Vols, Braves, Falcons, Bulldog, and more of your favorite teams. Listen on air or at ESPNCleveland1013.com. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM.
At Zaxby's, we don't just make chicken fingers. We make the most premium tenderloin, 12-hour marinated, hand-breaded, fried to golden perfection. Deserves not one, not two, not even three, but your choice of 12 dipping sauces chicken fingers. Chicken fingers that you can dip, dunk, or drizzle in ranch, and Zax sauce, and spicy Zax sauce, and honey mustard, and tongue torch, and barbecue. And I'm out of time. Sausage!
Zaxby's. It's the Southland Finance Halftime Show on Sports 99.1.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. This is the Southland Finance Halftime Show, and Southland Finance is located off Peerless Road and 25th Street in Cleveland, right in front of Ace Hardware, and you can visit them online at www.southlandfinance.net. Once again, I'm Andy Morris, joined along with Brody Swafford, filling in for Jacob tonight. And Brody, you've done a great job. Your first half of calling football on the radio in the books. Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, listen, Brody knows a lot, not only about the game of football, but specifically about Walker Valley football, this coaching staff, these young men who are doing a great job tonight. The score at halftime, 26-6 in favor of your Walker Valley Mustangs, as we are on the road here at Reggie White Field at Howard High School. And once again, got to give a huge shout out each and every single week. Mr. Rob Varner does a phenomenal job providing us our halftime stats, really our full game stats. He's constantly rolling in messages to us as the game unfolds. He does a great job. And all of our stats are sponsored by Waste Connections. You can visit them online at wasteconnections.com. So, obviously, some Walker Valley dominance here in the first half. The Mustangs, 19 rushes for 160 yards on the ground there. And Jacob Curley, 5 of 8 passing for 102 yards. So a lot of those have been, a couple of them at least, have been touchdown passes. Javen Hall has 9 rushes for 113 yards. I know he'd like to have a TD by his name, as he was horse-collared there at about the 2 or 3 yard line. But Spencer McCooch, 4 rushes for 41 yards, very explosive. He's been a good shot of energy on the ground for the Mustangs tonight. And then Roman Yulo stealing some touchdowns, 4 rushes for 18 yards and 2 touchdowns. I like to joke around with Roman about that kind of stuff, but Roman is a guy that you can count on. You can go to him. He's going to find the end zone regardless of what the situation is. And he, again, doing a good job there in that Wildcat set for the Mustangs, getting a couple touchdowns on the ground as well. Through the air, Roman Yulo has 1 reception for 40 yards and a touchdown. So Roman, 3 touchdowns on the night. You called it the hat trick for Roman, having a big night. Hudson McCooch, 2 receptions for 37 yards and a touchdown. Again, Hudson McCooch, glad to see him. He looks healthy. We know in that Bradley game he was kind of dealing with a knee injury, and we've seen his involvement and role continue to increase since then. So definitely glad to see Hudson McCooch heading in the right direction health-wise. Tate Roundtree, 1 reception for 14 yards. It was early. We thought he was going to get a few more targets, but I tell you what, Jacob Curley has settled in and done a great job. Coach Akins, we talked about how he handled Ryan Lay and Evan Schwarzel and Dawson Stum in their first few starts. He's always done a good job making sure he doesn't put too much on his quarterbacks in those first couple starts. And you talked about it, Brody, from week 1 to week 2. For Jacob Curley has been a huge improvement.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, even he hasn't had a whole lot of passes, just going to be 5 for 8, but 2 of those are touchdowns. That gives you confidence. He's going to be more confident at throwing the ball deep. He's got to get the under stuff figured out. A couple of the hitches, a couple of the screen passes. He's been a little late on, been a little behind. Those deep balls are looking good.
Getting those reps at game speed, he's going to adjust to those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and listen, I want to kind of correct myself here, and I know I didn't say his name, but going back to your era, Tucker Pope, Coach didn't really coddle him too much. He said, go throw the football.
Well, that's because his brother was the offensive coordinator up here. He said, Tucker better figure it out.
Tyler Pope, who is usually right up here in the press box with us, he's in for halftime, of course, but yeah, some good Walker Valley memories there with Tucker Pope at quarterback and a few connections between you guys.
Yeah, I mean, he was my roommate for, the last year, but
getting to play college ball together for the Mocs, pretty cool too. Very proud of those, all of our former Mustangs that go on and play at the next level. And you guys are definitely a couple of those guys that the Walker Valley faithful are very proud of. And glad to have you, Brody, with us here on the broadcast again tonight. Going over for stats, once again, all of our stats sponsored by Waste Connections. Defensively, Malachi Nunez, 3 tackles on the night. Braylon Beard, 3 tackles. And we got to talk about Troy Discavich. He's got 3 sacks on the night and 4 tackles overall. Troy Discavich has absolutely been a menace in the backfield against Howard.
Yeah, I think he's doing his best TJ Watt impression.
Yeah, also looking at Howard for a second here, 14 rushes for -2 yards. So that just goes to show you the effect that not only Troy, but Jack Shantz and the defensive line there for the Mustangs. Dylan Sharp, Lane Ferris, the sophomore, getting the play tonight, and that linebacking core who we've bragged on all year long, holding them to negative yards. As again, we saw them kind of transition to more of a heavy pass game.
Yeah, I think, like you said, they had the runs. They've got -2 yards. Yeah, a lot of those they've got some sacks in there. But I think they're switching to the pass game. It worked a lot on the second drive. They were able to figure that out. They've gone a little bit away from it, trying to get the run game a little going, but it hasn't seemed to work out too much for them since the second drive.
Yeah, so looking back over here to the stats, looks like Howard is 3 of 10 passing for 42 yards. So those 3 completions have resulted in some big gains and first downs for Howard. As a matter of fact, Walker Valley with 15 first downs on the night up to this point here at halftime, and Howard 3 first downs. So the Mustang defense doing a phenomenal job. Also, Mr. Rob Varner provides us with another stat here. He says Brody gets an A rating. So Brody Swafford in the booth with us tonight.
I appreciate that.
Mr. Rob Varner.
Shout out to Rob Varner.
That's right. So once again, those halftime stats from Mr. Rob Varner are sponsored by Waste Connections. Visit them online at wasteconnections.com. Again, the score at halftime, Walker Valley 26, Howard 6. We've got roughly about 9 minutes until we kick off for the second half. Brody and I, we're going to continue to gather some information. When we come back, we'll have another Billy Haney Meat Company scoreboard update. So hang with us. We'll be back here in 2 minutes.
Grandpa, I heard you mention the milkman. Was there really a guy who just delivered milk?
Jimmy, his old truck had a distinctive He pulled up to the house, put cold glass bottles of fresh milk in his handy-dandy little basket, and he walked right to the door with a smile and sat him on the porch. He was friendly with us kids, old-fashioned friendly, all that service just for the price of milk. Now that's what I call more than your money's worth.
Like the folks at Springdale Heating and Air, right?
Yes, Jimmy, exactly. They'll send you technicians that are old-fashioned friendly, neat, clean, highly skilled, and always glad to do a little extra. Maybe replace that smoke alarm battery.
Springdale Heating and Air, old-fashioned friendly, and always more than your money's worth. 479-6363.
Genesee Valley Urology is the home of the no scalpel vasectomy. Find out more at tnvalleyurology.net or call 423-472-3201.
Caldwell Paving, paving the way in Tennessee since 1958. Caldwell Paving specializes in asphalt paving and seal coating. They serve residential clients, industrial and commercial companies, and subdivision projects. Conveniently located in Charleston, Caldwell Paving serves all of Southeast Tennessee. Caldwell Paving, old surfaces made new. CaldwellPaving.com.
Purchase 4 Bridgestone Dueler AT Revo 3 or Dueler AT Ascent tires to be eligible for $100 instant savings. Or purchase 4 Firestone Destination XT, Destination AT, Destination AT2, Destination MT, Destination MT2, Transforce AT or Transforce AT2 tires to be eligible for $100 savings. Limit 2 per household at Cleveland Tire Center, 4699 North Lee Highway in Cleveland.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public. This is the Southland Finance Halftime Show. Once again, I'm Andy Morris along with former Walker Valley Mustang, Brody Swafford. Glad to have Brody with us tonight, and he's been getting rave reviews all around. And listen, I hope Jacob Mason's listening. He's coming for your job, Jacob. He's coming. Brody's laughing and shaking his head right now. But no, we miss Jacob. Jacob does a great job. And but glad that when we can have people fill in, guys like you and Matt Paris, it's a treat, having you, a former player, and having Matt, a former coach on the Mustangs. So definitely thankful to have you guys. Tell you what, we're also thankful for everyone back at the studio. They do a phenomenal job. Hoping that those guys are enjoying some Papa John's pizza for all our board ops. Again, Ryan Felt and those guys, Elijah Kyle, who's our board op tonight. You guys, we appreciate everything you do and hope you're comfortable and enjoying the Papa John's pizza there at the station. Once again, Papa John's is hiring. You can apply at pjunited.info. And Brody, this is one thing. As I said, we're going to have you on again in the future, be it even if it's just for a halftime interview. You've done a good job, but one thing that I can tell you is this can't go on, this can't happen without those guys back at the station, and they make sure that all the equipment's working good, that we sound good, the volumes. Well, they can only affect how good we sound because sometimes we just mess that up. Mm-hmm. But no, they honestly do a great job, and we're very blessed, and I'm very thankful to work with those guys. And it's a lot of fun working with them. So once again, this is the Southland Finance Halftime Show. Southland Finance is located off Peerless Road and 25th Street in Cleveland, right in front of Ace Hardware. And you can visit them online at www.southlandfinance.net. So real quick, we're going to go on over to our Billy Haney Meat Company scoreboard update. Billy Haney Meat Company, another one of those companies that has been very loyal to our stations, and they love our high school football players and high school football in our area. And you can check them out. They're on Old Charleston Road and do a great job with, I'll tell you what, if you like the old school rectangle school pizzas, that's where you need to go. You can get them in bulk there. They've got all kinds of bulk food items at Billy Haney Meat Company. So looking at our scoreboard update, that we got just moments ago in the fourth quarter. Very close game over at Bradley. Farragut leading Bradley 21-20. So very close game there at Bear Stadium. a lot of history between the Farragut Admirals and the Bradley Bears there. At halftime, Cleveland, they're in this ball game over there in Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte Christian leads 28-14 over the Blue Raiders of Cleveland. But Cleveland definitely hanging around there against a very, very tough Charlotte Christian team. In the second quarter still, it looks like our last update. Actually, it is halftime. McMinn leads Ray County 21-6. So the McMinn Cherokees trying to make things interesting here in this region, currently leading 21-6 over Ray County. Going over McMinn Central trails Meigs County 12-7. And then Polk County and Wartburg are knotted at 0. Still no score in that game, which is in the second quarter. At halftime, East Hamilton leads Ooltewah 21-0. And then we've got Chattanooga Central leading Sweetwater 34-7. That game is in the third quarter. Going back over to that blue versus red rivalry in Chattanooga, Baylor leads McCallie 27-0 still. So very lopsided game there. And also, it looks like there was a middle school championship game where Maryville beats Lake Forest 35-16. Again, a very dominant Maryville team.
And we actually just had an update. McCallie did end up scoring. It's 27-6. 27-6 Baylor over McCallie.
So 27-6. So I tell you what, that there would be a lot of talk and a lot of things going on in that game if Baylor was able to hold McCallie to a shutout. The Blue Tornado faithful are glad to be on the board in that game. No doubt about it. We're about 2 minutes away from kickoff here in the second half. Brody, you got anything else for us?
Yeah, just another quick, more recent update. Farragut now is leading Bradley 28-20 in the fourth quarter, and Cleveland is trailing Charlotte Christian 35-14 at halftime.
Okay, so that game is now at halftime. So with that, again, this is the Southland Finance Halftime Show. We're going to take about a 1 minute break. When we come back, we will have the second half of this game here at Howard High School. Once again, Mustangs leading Howard. Mustangs 26, Howard 6. We'll be back in 1 minute.
At Wholesale Supply, we're more than just a plumbing, electrical, and HVAC supplier. We're your partners in success. Join our family of customers today and experience the benefits of partnering with us. Enjoy free local delivery so you can focus on what you do best, getting the job done. With wholesale pricing, you'll save big on every purchase. Plus, our fast, friendly support team is here to assist you every step of the way. Our vast selection from top manufacturers ensures you'll find everything you need all under one roof. Find a location near you. Visit wholesalesupply.us for more. And remember, Wholesale Supply, open to the public.
This Halloween, don't let the candy play tricks on your child's teeth. At Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics of Chattanooga, we're here to keep those little things healthy and cavity-free.
From cleanings to braces, we make dental visits fun and easy for your little monsters. Our team is here to ensure that every smile stays healthy, no matter how much candy's in the bag.
Don't let cavities haunt your Halloween. Visit pdoc.com to book your appointment today. Have a fantastic Halloween from all of us at Pediatric Dentistry and Orthodontics of Chattanooga.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They're open to the public. And I tell you what, listen, for all the up-to-the-date scores and everything that's going on in high school football, not to mention tomorrow, Saturday, big college football weekend. You want to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the SEC, all those things. Download the Mix 1041 app. And again, up to the minute scores and easy listening. You can catch all of our games on that Mix 1041 app, also along on YouTube and Facebook. So a lot of ways that you can keep up with all this football action that's going on this fall. And tell you what, Brody, Tennessee Vols got a tough opponent in Arkansas tomorrow on the road, I believe, right?
Yeah. I think they are playing against Arkansas. I got the opportunity to watch the Auburn-Arkansas game. Neither team really impressed me. Tennessee, I think, should handle business, but until Arkansas gets their quarterback situation figured out, I don't think they really have a chance against the Vols defense.
Yeah, you were talking about the Vols defense, obviously. Boo Carter, former Bradley Bear, starting on that defense. So kind of cool to see someone from our area.
Another interesting thing. So Arkansas's backup he went in the game last week. I want to say it's Malachi Singleton. He went to Mayfield in Cleveland. Yeah. Played against him in elementary school. Him, his brother, Mayfield Elementary. Malachi and Colby Singleton played with Trey Curry.
That's pretty cool.
Then they moved to Georgia, and we're 4 and 5 stars. But
listen, when you're a 4 or a 5 star in Georgia, you're a real deal. Definitely some solid high school football there in Georgia. Coach Pope coming over, showing Brody some love here as the
giving me his wrappers and trash, not bringing me food.
So the score as we get ready to kick off here in the second half: Walker Valley 26, Howard 6. And again, this is the Southland Finance halftime show. They're located in Cleveland off Peerless Road and 25th Street, right there in front of Ace Hardware. And Ace Hardware going to be moving here pretty soon to the old Cook's Food Store location. So we're not going to be able to say that before too long, but definitely thankful for Southland Finance for sponsoring our halftime shows. Also, Mr. Rob Varner and Waste Connections for providing the halftime stats. Again, in this game, a lot happening and a lot of production from this Walker Valley offense who, listen, Roman Yulo, obviously a guy that we've talked about can be moved around. You can put him at quarterback. One thing I'm kind of curious to see if Coach Akins ever tries to expand Roman's role in that Wildcat set to maybe throw a little Tebow jump pass or dump the ball off to the fly.
I've had the great opportunity to work with Roman. I say great in light terms, but I love Roman. But I've gotten to work with him. I've seen him throw a football. I don't think the jump pass is coming anytime soon.
So you got the answer right there, and I'm sure that Roman would roll his eyes and laugh if he were able to hear you say that, Brody. But yeah, listen, Roman has been so versatile, though. In all seriousness, here, Coach Akins has used him in so many different ways, and it seems like anytime he's got the ball in his hand, something explosive can happen. And I'm not just pumping you up here. A lot of people say that Roman plays and reminds them a lot of how you played in your time at Walker Valley, Brody. And, guys like that are extremely valuable to have. And then obviously when you can complement it with Spencer McCooch, Javen Hall, Hudson McCooch.
Who are you going to guard?
Yeah. So many weapons on this offense. And one thing that we're seeing here in this first half, and that, really the situation at the Ray County game last week, Jacob Curley is a guy who's continuing to develop. We don't know how soon we're going to have Dosen Stun back. Hopefully soon. Dosen has definitely done a great job, but Jacob showing that there's not going to be a big drop off there. So that when you're talking about a kid that's coming in his second start as a backup quarterback who's been thrust into that starting role, Jacob has done just about everything that a coach would want him to do.
Yeah, I think it's pretty impressive, and I think that him being able to play this against this Howard team, I think it does help with, as far as the weeks coming up, he knows he can do it. He's got a confidence that, I can make this throw, I can make this play. Let me go out there and do it. So I think that's going to help in the upcoming weeks if Dosen isn't available.
Yeah, Jacob and I actually talked about that with Dosen specifically against Notre Dame to open the season. That's kind of how Coach Akins handled Dosen in that game, and we've seen Dosen's playbook just here in a few short games fully expanded, and he's comfortable now. And you're starting to see that really quickly with Jacob Curley. And so, again, that's the end of the Southland Finance halftime show. Mustangs up 26-6. As this ball's kicked off, it's fielded by the Mustangs, and they've got good blockers out in front, and he's going to take that one from about the 30-yard line where it was fielded just shy of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, that was number 20, Caleb Jackson, on the return there. Just a short little kick.
So Caleb Jackson with a good return, and just as Brody said, that was a short kick from Howard. So really good field position for the Mustangs to start the second half here at midfield.
And that's pretty much been the story of the game, is Mustangs pretty much get good field position. Howard's been getting not so good field position.
Yeah, again, that's something that Coach Akins talked about. Unfortunately, did not work in our favor last week against Ray County, so there's a lot of emphasis on that tonight. Ball handed off up the middle. Spencer McCooch just running past people, explosive.
Javen Hall.
Oh, that was
Javen
actually
Hall.
Javen Hall. So that's going to be a Bradley Concrete Lamcon Ready Mix first down, Javen Hall. And honestly, I thought that was Spencer just because of how quick he hit the hole. Usually, Javen's really good of allowing his blockers to get their assignments and
But
let
when
the
your
play develop.
when your blockers are blocking them 15 yards down the
Exactly.
field, you can pretty much hit the hole at 100%.
Exactly, and he did that there. Curley back to pass. He's thrown the deep ball again. That one's going to be perfectly
16.
placed again for a touchdown. It seems like every time Jacob Curley throws the football, it's a touchdown. That one completed to number 16, Luke Hayden, for the Wright Brothers Construction touchdown, Walker Valley. Luke Hayden, man, did a great job. That was still a very good placed ball, but
Right.
Luke had to lean back
He
just
had
a
to lean
little
back
bit.
a little. It was a great catch, great route. I mean, he beat the DB. You like to think Curly stats. What is he? 6 for 9 right now.
Yeah.
With 3 touchdowns, he's got a 50% touchdown rate
That's
on his
right.
completed balls.
Yeah, that's going to boost those numbers.
He's got to
a little
be.
bit.
Yeah, he's got to be happy with that.
So the snap for the extra point, good snap, good hold, kick is up. It is good. Once again, our extra points are sponsored by Independent Insulation Services. Great job there to start the second half for Walker Valley. The score 33, Howard 6. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians from $22.17 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, and vision insurance. Paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply at Duracell.com.
Solutions Finance of Tennessee, your hometown lender. Locally owned and operated. Loans for used cars, motorcycles, ATVs, home improvement, furniture and appliance purchases, and other worthwhile purpose. Solutions Finance. Heath Street, phone 339-6772.
This is Dr. Brian Beard with the Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. My dad has been serving the Cleveland community for 50 years, and I'm coming up on 30. So 80 years of combined dental care for our friends and family in the town I grew up in. So what you get is 80 years of experience, and we do nothing the way we did 50, 30, or even 20 years ago. We are passionate about your dentistry and offering the latest and greatest dentistry has to offer. Give us a call at 476-6541.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Mustang football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They are open to the public, and the Mustangs are open for business as they're leading this game 33-6 against this Howard team on the road here in Chattanooga. There was a player down for Howard on the extra point, but he is up and walking off the field. We're glad to see that. Mustangs 33, Howard 6. And again, that injury timeout sponsored by Milligan Vane. You can visit them online at milliganvane.com. Dr. James Gooden. So Mustangs set to kick it off after that touchdown. Another good kick inside the 10-yard line. Return man's going to work here to the near side where he's going to encounter a few Mustangs and be brought down finally. Let's get a number.
Spencer McCooch.
Yeah, number 1, Spencer McCooch. Good coverage there by Walker Valley. Brody, so you've played some coverage on kickoffs at the next level in college and stuff. Kind of, what are keys to making sure that you can have stops like that?
So what we were always told is don't break down, break glass. What that means is, you see the guy dropping back to block. You don't want to slow down. He's waiting for you. So you got to run through him. You got to cause a whole lot of chaos. You got to beat him to where he's going to turn, and you got to backdoor him. And what you do there, you get in his blind spot, you're right by him, you go and make the play.
Yeah, and it seems like the Mustangs did a good job getting to the return man right there. So they, as using your language, they broke the glass right
They
there.
did break the glass.
11-14 to go here in the third quarter. Mustangs up 30-36. Ball handed off. He's met by Jack Shantz along with Braylon Beard, and that's going to be a loss of about 3 yards on the play. And yeah, this is where, we've talked about, this is definitely an improved Howard team. from
Absolutely.
the teams that we've seen over the past couple of years. A lot less penalties, a lot more discipline. The biggest issue in a 5A football game matchup like this, you look over at the Walker Valley sidelines, it stretches from 30 to 30 full of Mustang players, and there's not a lot of depth. That is not reciprocated on the other sideline. Howard, not a very deep roster, and a lot of these young men playing both ways. So you're starting to see that, and we've seen that with several opponents as they drop back to pass, and he's going to be wrapped up and brought down, but there is a flag. I believe it's going to be a face mask. Trying to get a number. So that was number 84 for the Mustangs who got to the quarterback. That's Jack Glenn. Okay, so it was not a face mask.
It looked, the timing of it looked like it could have been called a face mask. I didn't see the face mask.
Yep. So that was actually a holding call against Howard. Once again, all our penalties sponsored by LMB Appliance. But yeah, I thought as Jack got there, I saw the quarterback's head go down, so I was thinking, and the flag came out simultaneously.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you're right. He had a hold of his jersey. Great pursuit there. Seeing some guys get in on defense for the Mustangs here. Wojtek Center for Orthopedic Care for all your orthopedic needs. Visit them online, Wojtek.com. Clock down to 9:55 here in the third quarter. Mustangs leading 33-6. It's third and very long for Howard as they're backed up inside their own 5-yard line. So they got a man in motion going to a jet sweep look here. Quarterback in his own end zone. Thrown, almost intercepted. Nearly intercepted.
Would have been a walk-in pick six for Tyler Goldman.
Yeah, right there at the 23-yard line, and you nailed it. Number 27, Tyler Goldman. As soon as that ball bounced off his hands, he put his hands on his helmet. Again, you're absolutely right. He would have walked right in. Listen, I'm gonna give Tyler a hard time about that one.
Absolutely,
but he has done a great job at the linebacker position for the Mustangs amongst some injuries. He was getting some playing time before Mason Alexander was hurt, but he has really stepped up. Did a great job kind of judging that route. Broke on the football, played the quarterback's eyes, and nearly came away with a pick six. Oh, there's going to be another penalty here as a Howard player was running onto the field as they snapped the football. So they only had 10 men on the field, and that once it was realized, in that situation, you're better off.
You can play with 10 men. You can't play with 12.
Exactly. So you're better off staying on the sideline, but he noticed, and literally right as the ball was being snapped, he started jogging onto the field. So had he not have done that, they would have been okay, but that is going to back Howard up even more as the officials are discussing this at the 20-yard line, having a little bit of a conference down there. But once again, all of our penalties are sponsored by LMB Appliance, and Independent Insulation Services. Independent Insulation Services, also our Extra Point sponsor, doing penalties as well. I appreciate all of our sponsors. So the officials,
I think we declined the penalty.
Okay, so they're going to say that the punt stands, and it looks like I don't want to say anything till this official puts the football down. So they're still continuing the conference. I don't think they're quite sure. There might have been multiple penalties on this play because there was one back where the return man was, and then obviously the player coming on the field late. So might see offsetting penalties.
Right. We got a new receiving core out there for the Mustangs.
Yeah, so Walker Valley's going to take the ball at the Howard 35-yard line. That's where they're going to start this drive with 8:46 to go in the third quarter. Walker Valley 33, Howard 6. Crown, your Jeep and Ram headquarters, located in Southeast Tennessee, right off I-75 at exit 20. So these officials are still kind of talking here. I don't know. I don't think they're obviously they're not on the same page.
Fixing the clock. I keep looking at this dude down here. He's my clock man, the one in the maroon shirt. He's the one always signaling up here.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, the official's right in the middle of the Walker Valley huddle right now. See Tate Roundtree
Trying to put 9 minutes on the clock.
So obviously having some clock operation issues, but I wish everyone could see Tate Roundtree right now talking to the officials. He's being so animated, very, very comical to kind of see. I think he was even dancing at one point.
I mean, Tate is a very animated person, that's for sure.
No doubt about it. Starting to see some, looks like some changes on the offensive line. Want to get those to you. Obviously, Caden Lassen still out there. Number 18, Nolan Miles in the game at receiver. That's going to be.
Also have number 12, Joseph Arnett at receiver. And number 25, Brody Crooms. Shout out, Brody. Namesake, great name.
That's right. Number 43 on the carry there for the Mustangs, Lincoln Jackson. Lincoln, only a freshman, and recently moved back to running back. I know he played a little running back in middle school at Ocoee Middle, and he's getting his second carry after about a 4-yard gain on his first, and he's going to get very close, about a yard shy to that first down marker. So fun to see Lincoln Jackson in the game. Of course, you know, his brother.
With his brother, Spencer.
Yep. Another former Mustang, Spencer Jackson.
Great player. Looking for big things from Lincoln.
So that's going to bring up a third down and about 1.5, it looks like. Mustangs with the ball in Howard territory. Looking to get inside that Kia Cleveland drive zone, hand it off to Jackson once again, and it looks like he kind of got
swallowed up right there.
Kind of got clotheslined a little bit there. No penalty though. Even the PA guy said no penalty. He was kind of thinking the same thing we were, but no gain on the play for Lincoln Jackson. Biggest thing for me, let's see how many times I call him Spencer when he's in the game. I'm going to try to avoid doing that, but again, Lincoln Jackson, just like his brother Spencer, playing some running back here on Friday night for the Mustangs. 7:20 to go in this ball game. Mustangs up 33-6. It's 4th down and 2. Coach Akins leaves the offense on the field. Ball snap, handed off once again to Lincoln, and he is not going to have enough. He was met in the backfield. So Howard is going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Good to see some of these young guys getting some reps when you're up 33-6 in a ball game. That's one thing that, you know, I've always talked about, and especially, you know, at the middle school level, when you have leads on these teams, get some other guys in the game. Let some other guys play. And Coach Akins has always done a good job of that. He has a good feel for the game. Again, this is a distant 33-6. This isn't any type of tight 33-6. And getting to see a freshman carry the football, and Lincoln Jackson and some of those receivers as well. And we're seeing it on defense. Coach Akins is the one thing. Him and I have had conversations. He has learned throughout his years coaching that those opportunities are teaching moments for those young guys. As we've got
Goldman got his pick.
Tyler Goldman making up for it. He does get his pick 6. Tyler Goldman with the Wright Brothers Construction touchdown, and Brody is right. That should be his second pick 6 on the night, but he batted one down.
Read that like a book.
And was all over that one. So that is going to get us a running clock here in the third quarter with 6:57 to go in the third. Tyler Goldman jumped the route for the second time tonight. This time he caught the football and took it to the house for about, I want to say that was about a 25, 30-yard touchdown from where he caught that ball. So, Tyler Goldman, have yourself a night, young man.
See, Howard had tried, they threw 4 wide receivers over to our side of the field, 1 on that side. They tried to throw it to the single side receiver, and Goldman was just sitting there waiting on it.
Extra point, bad snap. It was bobbled. He's
Oh,
going
my
to throw,
goodness.
and that's going to be a 2-point conversion. Talk
Roman Yulo.
Talk about improvising. Roman Yulo not able to handle. Again, Roman is the holder. Break it down for us, Brody.
You know, in that situation, we're told to scream fire, fire, fire. And what that means is everybody release into the flats, quit blocking. Roman was able to get up, make a play. I'm going to give him a hard time for not catching the snap to begin with.
He's a receiver.
He's a receiver, yeah. And it was a good snap. But, you know, just the athleticism, going to make a play.
But again, in a game situation, being able to practice that rep, that's something that a situational thing like that isn't something you really practice.
You hope it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
But when it does happen, you got to be prepared. And, I mean, he threw that to, I think it was Spencer McCooch.
Yeah.
So just those two guys able to be on that same page, to know what to do. These are your leaders of the team. And they're able to do the small things right. To make up for that play.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we get that receiver right. I was thinking that it was McCooch as well.
It's a little different because, like, on the edge of the field goal, you don't normally put like a huge, you know, interior lineman type of guy. Could have been Burns too.
Yeah, it might have been. We're going to get Mr. Rob Varner to get us updated on that. So 6:57 to go. Mustangs 41, Howard 6 here in the third quarter. Mustangs set to kick it off. Once again, the senior, Noah Campbell, number 82, puts this one up into there. It's going to hang for a little bit. It's going to be caught at the 15 by Howard and returned up to the 30. 35 to 40, and he's going to be forced out of bounds at about the 45, maybe a little bit past to about the 46, 47-yard line. So, again, that the Mustangs with the 41-6 lead. There is a running clock at 6:38 currently and continuing to roll. Howard with the football right around midfield here. And let's see. I'm curious to see if they continue to try to go to that heavy passing attack, Brody.
I mean, when you're down 35 points in the third quarter, you're looking for something because what you're doing is obviously not really working. So you're just going to try anything. So I'm looking for, you know, some trick plays. Like we saw in that last one, they did 4 receivers on one side. They did 5 wide, 4 on one side, 1 on the other, trying to throw off our defense just to put something else out there. So I'm looking for that. I'm looking for, you know, maybe a double pass, maybe a reverse of some sort, just something to get a spark.
Yeah, again, so going back to that 2-point play, that was number 22, Kason Cunningham, the sophomore, did a great job. Heard Roman making that fire call, as you said, Brody, and hitting the flat, a good throw and catch. So, listen, Roman had to have heard. Someone must have said, Brody said, I can't throw the football. So he throws it.
All right. Don't bring that up. Don't tell him that either.
Shout out. Listen, Roman Yulo.
That was a 2-yard pass.
Did a great job improvising there after not catching the snap and getting that 2-point conversion. To want to make sure we give him credit.
Emphasis on not catching the snap, though.
That's right.
Was an emphasis.
Kason Cunningham coming away with the 2-point conversion reception to put the Mustangs up 41-6. There's 5 minutes to go in the third quarter as Howard's got the ball 2nd down and 10. They're going to hand it off. He's going to try to bounce out to the outside, but there is nowhere to go as the Mustangs continue to stretch him out to the sideline.
Yeah, it was a great tackle right there by number 29, Kane Cooley at corner.
Yeah, so listen, Kane Cooley at Notre Dame had an interception for a touchdown. Getting back in tonight. Who knows? If they continue to throw the ball, maybe he can get his 2nd interception of the year.
That would certainly be something.
But yeah, shout out. As much of a hard time as we're giving Roman Yulo, shout out to his parents, Rocky and Lisa. I know they listen, and I'm sure they're giggling right now listening to mine and Brody's comments, giving Roman a hard time, who's obviously, you know, all joking aside, such a, you know, he's the straw that stirs the drink for sure for this Mustang team.
It's quite the analogy.
That's right.
See, I always give Roman a hard time because he always talks about, oh, I'm going to have more touchdowns than you, all this other stuff. I mean, he's got 3 touchdowns right now. It's a little upsetting.
It's just some friendly gamesmanship.
Of course. All in good faith.
Yeah, listen, and that's one of those things, though, in all seriousness, you can kind of take pride in that you guys have that relationship and you have that kind of impact on him that obviously guys like Cooper Melton and Bryce Nunley had on you.
Right.
And Zeke Westfield and those guys, you know, they kind of set a bar and you said, hey, that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do. So definitely, you know, people talk about wide receiver U. Tennessee was wide receiver U for a long time. Walker Valley kind of has a trend there.
A little bit, yeah. It's all about pushing the next generation.
There's going to be a false start, it looks like, from Howard. He immediately let everybody know it was him, too. He was frustrated. He knew he jumped. So that 4th and 1 there, they were going for it. That's going to back them up. So curious to see if they're going to go ahead and punt here, if they're just going to try to take a shot. Obviously, again, Coach Akins has called the Dogs off with the 41-6 lead. So for both of these teams being in this situation, good reps to get, obviously for Howard, the few guys they have on their sideline to get in the game and get an opportunity to play on Friday night.
I mean, this is, like I was saying, this is all about the next generation. So this is your future on the field right now. So you see the powerhouses for, you know, a couple years in Maryville. Yeah, then they would get up by 30. Then they would play their freshmen, their sophomores. By the time they're juniors and seniors, they're doing the same things to people, and that cycle just continues.
So, good punt fielded by Cunningham at the 25. He does fair catch that one. So, again, something that we talked about, Brody. He's learning his lesson. You know, call the fair catch.
He got underneath it.
That's right. Did a good job there. So, it's all, at this age, it's all about development and definitely, you know, making those mistakes and improving off of them.
Especially as a sophomore, just being able to, even just going back there to catch a punt is a feat in itself.
Yeah. Yeah, and you talk about Cunningham just being a sophomore, doing a good job on that 2-point conversion play as well, fielding punts, being the punt returner, a bright future for him with this Walker Valley team. Ball's handed off to Jackson, and he's going to get positive yardage this time. Much better effort there from this Walker Valley offensive line. As we've seen, the Flow Show has checked out of the game, getting some different bodies in there for the Mustangs. Try to get some of those guys on here. Looks like we've got number 73 for Walker Valley. Oh, Bryson Farley's still in there. Ashton Roshak, number 72, in the game.
Number 58, Caden Lassen.
Yeah, so Caden Lassen's a normal starter.
A normal starter.
Another
that was a good pass.
Reception. Number 12 for the Mustangs, Joseph Arnett. So it looks like that is enough for a Bradley Concrete Lamcon Ready Mix first down. So good catch there on that out route, and another good throw from Curley.
Curley's just working his way down. He's hit the deep routes. Now he's starting to hit the medium routes.
That's right.
By the end of the game, he's going to start hitting the short routes.
And listen, we kind of knew coming into this game that if we did what we should do, again, hand it off to Jackson, he's going to have enough as he runs over a couple defenders for a Bradley Concrete Lamcon Ready Mix first down. That's about a 13, 14-yard gain for Jackson. But we talked about if we came into this game and did what we should do, it should be a dominant effort. And up to this point, that's what we've seen. But the confidence that you take away from this game, if you're Jacob Curley, it doesn't matter if you're playing the Knox West or Howard. He knows that he can make those deep throws now because he's the lights are on, the fans are in the stands, and he's out here doing it.
Right.
So a big night for Jacob Curley in his second ever start, filling in for Dosen Stum, and definitely you've got to imagine that's going to have a huge effect on him for weeks to come.
Right, especially traveling to East Hamilton next week. Or at least playing them. I don't know if it's at home or away, but
it's going to be at Walker Valley next week.
Yeah. So region game, you need his confidence up. You need him to know that he can make that play.
So we are now in the fourth quarter. Mustangs up 41-6. Again, a big night here from Roman Yulo and company. I'll tell you what, listen, I hope Jacob's listening because we joke about how how much we praise and talk about Roman, and having Brody up here, we've changed the pace. We're giving Roman a hard time tonight.
Hey, I love it. I'm here for it.
Chick-fil-A located on Keith Street and Paw Huff Parkway. Download the Chick-fil-A app today. Also, Dell's Heating and Air for all your heating and air needs. Just call Dells.com. One thing that Jacob and I talk about typically every Friday, it comes up at least once. Roman has been such a big part of this offense now. Again, he's only a junior, which is mine. It seems like he's like a fifth-year senior.
Right.
From his freshman year, he's been part of what's going on. He's impacted the games, and he continues to improve. So just to kind of imagine where he's going to be at a year from now, as I'm sure he still continues to grow and develop and get stronger, he is going to be a force to reckon with for a lot of teams.
Right. And me and him have already talked about this, like in the off season. Like he texted me, he was like, I just love like off season training. He was like, I can't wait till, obviously he wants to continue to play this season, but he was like, after the season, I just love training. I love getting better, and I love being able to put a product on the field. He was like, and I just like, he can't wait for December and January and all those months.
And that's where a lot of the growth happens. Is Jackson's going to break another long gain here on the ground for the Mustangs. He's going to get into the Kia Cleveland drive zone inside the 20-yard line.
That was a good run by Jackson.
Yeah, he's Lincoln Jackson, the freshman, in at running back, definitely shouldering the load of the offense right now and doing a good job at that. But you saying that makes me think of I actually just recently read a story from a reporter handed off to Jackson. Once again, he's going to bounce it outside of the far side. He's going to have at least 5, 6, 7 yards there, it looks like. But this reporter was talking about Kobe Bryant and said, hey, can I watch how you train and what you do? And Kobe Bryant said, yeah, meet me at the gym at 4 a.m. And the reporter's like, good grief. So reporter shows up late at 4:15, 4:30, comes into the gym, and Kobe Bryant's already soaking wet. And he's in there just drilling hit footwork and ball handling. Obviously talking a little basketball here, but he said, and then once he was done with his workout, the reporter said, man, you had to have just started when I got there. And like, you looked like you've been working out for hours. And he said that he was obsessed and loved the process of developing and working on the fundamentals that, listen, the game times when the light's on, that's great. But hearing you say that about Roman kind of brought that to mind. And if you want to be successful, you want to be elite, you want to be one of the best guys on the field, you've got to love it, you've got to be obsessed with it, and you've got to work really hard.
Right.
So it looks like there's a player down on the field for Howard. With that, we're going to take a 1-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the rest of the fourth quarter here. Mustangs up 41-6. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad veins.
Here is Brian Poole, owner of Poole Funeral Home and Cremation Services at Fike Chapel.
We're doing some renovations on Fike. We're painting the whole inside. New furnishing's going in, give it a fresh new look. We're going to provide just as much professional services there as any other funeral home in the area. Cater to everybody's need, whether it's burial or cremation, whatever it may be, we're going to provide the community that. And I just want to continue that heritage that the Fike family started and build off of that. And I wanted to keep that name part of ours, even though we did change it to Poole Funeral Home and Cremation Services at Fike Chapel. We wanted to make sure we honored the Fike name. We treat your family like they're our family.
Welcome back to WCLE Sports 99.1, your exclusive home of Mustang football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They're open to the public. And once again, Curley rolls out here to the near side and throws an absolute dart to the end zone. Incomplete, though, but showing off that cannon that he's got. That one was intended, once again, for number 12, Joseph Arnett. Who, man, listen, Arnett getting some reps tonight, has had a couple catches.
He looks good out there.
Sure does, running good routes. Brody, how important is good route running?
It's probably the most important thing because not everyone can get open. Everyone can, for the most part, catch the football. Not everyone can get open. You can get 5 yards of separation, but, 9 times out of 10, if you're not getting that separation, quarterback's not going to throw you the football.
Yep. So Noah Campbell drills the field goal, getting 3 more points for the Mustangs. Number 82, senior Noah Campbell, right through the uprights with 9:21 to go in this ball game. Walker Valley 44, Howard 6. So definitely getting some work there for Noah. Never know when you might run into a situation where you need a kicker. And speaking of that, I want to go back in time a little bit, and I believe it was the Smith County game that we were on the road at Smith County, I believe, and that was I'm trying to think. That might have been
the year after, I think.
Yeah, I think that was 2021.
I think it was
Pretty
right
sure.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, but man, went up there and ended up winning that game.
Was it overtime?
In overtime,
Yeah.
I believe hit a field goal in the fourth quarter to tie the game.
Eli Wilson.
Yeah, Eli Wilson. That's it. That's right. So that was the year after you, but
played soccer with Eli. Great guy.
Yeah. So you never know when those reps here in a game where you're beating Howard handedly, getting that extra kick in might help you out in a big game down the road as well. So again, 44-6, Mustangs leading Howard with 9:21 to go in this ball game. And right after that field goal, once again sponsored by Duracell, and Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring.
He got a hold of that one.
Puts this one in the end zone. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did.
Sure did.
He's got a swagger now.
Yeah,
he made that field goal, and now he's kicking it through the end zone.
Yeah, he's pumped. He's fired up. Good for Noah Campbell.
It's great to see, especially after missing the extra points. You come back and kick a field goal as, 35, 40-yard field goal.
Very, very accurate, too. That was right down the middle. But, hey, you talked about playing soccer with Eli Wilson and stuff. How important, I know, it seems like generationally things kind of change. Like, I know when I was in school, a lot of people were sport-specific. Not a lot of multi-sport athletes. The elite guys still did it because they could. How important do you think it is, Brody, to be a multi-sport athlete?
There's so many different aspects of each sport.
And I'm putting you on the spot. You got to talk about your brother a little bit.
I don't want to talk about my brother. I'll talk about him in a second.
Okay.
But, those different aspects of, track, you're getting acceleration, you're getting, knee drive when you're tired. You got soccer, change of direction, cutting on the field.
Ball carrier for Howard took a big hit from Cole Brown, who's in the game on defense for the Mustangs after about a gain of 3. Go ahead, Brody.
Yeah, same with, you play basketball, you're cutting, you're making cuts that you wouldn't normally make on a football field. All that translates to whatever your main sport is. So Skylar, he played 4 sports. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. Got a newspaper article about him. Wrestled, yeah, but what was your overall record in wrestling?
Listen, I knew
155 weight class.
Knew the shade was coming, but listen, I got to brag on your brother, Skylar Swafford, who for a good while was the all-time tackle leader for this Mustang
Not anymore.
program. Eli Denton came along, which we know Eli was very special. But your brother played soccer, he played basketball, obviously played football, and he ended up wrestling for a couple of years. And just a competitor. And if anything, I think it teaches you to step out of your comfort zone a little bit. I know he absolutely did that with wrestling. But listen, you guys know it, and I told your parents a million times. I'm a huge fan of the Swafford boys. You guys are good people, man. No doubt about it.
Thank you.
Obviously, get to hang out with your mom quite a bit. She is the head coach for the Lady Mustang Wrestling
She
team.
is. Yes, she is.
Doing a great job building that program, and
love that.
Definitely a lot of Swafford fingerprints all over Walker Valley High School. So definitely very thankful for you guys and the opportunities your parents have provided kids, not only on the athletic fields and on the mat, but in the classroom as well. I know your mom, she's big with the oceanography stuff.
Of course, she loves it. Loves it.
Yeah, she's definitely. Hey, I don't know. I can't remember if she has, but in the future, we're gonna have to get her nominated for Teacher of the Year, I believe.
Absolutely. I mean, she's got the passion, got the love for it.
She does
most days.
So Howard with the ball, 2nd down and 8. Quarterback drops back. He feels pressure. He's going to air it out. He's got a man across midfield at the 50, and that's going to be caught.
That was a great catch from number 1 for Howard. King Tally.
Again, you kind of talked about him earlier. He's the same one that full extension, no gloves, made the catch.
Exactly. And that was really good footwork from the quarterback of Howard. I mean, he felt the pressure, he stepped up and delivered a good ball. And even better,
panic.
He didn't panic.
Yeah.
Exactly. He had a pocket presence, and he was able to throw it very deep.
Yeah, so that pass complete to number 1 as he's limping a little bit after getting up. But again, full extension all the way down to the Mustang 40-yard line. But it looks like there must have been a penalty on the field.
We missed something.
We sure did. Because
turnover. Did they say he dropped it?
Or it might have been taken away after the catch. So we're going to have to talk to one of the coaches on the headsets over here because it looks like the Mustangs have the football. We're raving about the catch because he did a great job bringing it in. But it had to have been stripped as he was brought to the ground. So Mustang football now at the Howard 20. Ball handed off to Jackson. He's got positive yards once again. Listen, I know what it is. We got carried away too much giving your brother a hard time.
Now, Coach, I got to give someone else a hard time because right now I see number 14 in at quarterback, James Scarborough. And as many of you know, that is, well, some of you may know, that is the brother of Wilson Scarborough, former Walker Valley long snapper here.
Another multi-sport athlete.
Another multi-sport athlete.
Ball handed off to Jackson as he slung to the turf. Actually, that was number 30 for the Mustangs. That was not Jackson. That was Isaac Dio Campo, another multi-sport athlete, also wrestles for Walker Valley, only a sophomore.
Lots of multi-sport athletes on this roster.
Yeah. Isaac was a region placer in wrestling last year as a freshman and advanced to the sectional tournament and had a pretty decent sectional tournament, just shy of making the state tournament, but he's in on the carry. But go ahead and get back to Scarborough as he's getting ready to take a hit here. So I think I'm wanting to say they're calling fumble on the field, I believe, but I think that was in a throwing motion and getting a favorable call here from the officials, I believe. But it looked like that arm was definitely moving forward. But they're going to say that the ball was loose, I believe, before. But you can go back to giving his brother a hard time.
You know, it's hard to give him a hard time now, but I mean he is playing as a freshman. Wilson probably didn't play till he was a senior, long snapper. I see James out here being the quarterback quarterback three. Love to see it.
Yeah, listen, the Scarboroughs, another great family.
Absolutely.
Getting to hang out
shout
with
out
their dad
Molly, shout out Rodney, shout out everyone but Wilson.
Rodney's up here every Friday night with us filming the games for Walker Valley football.
Wilson's in the woods somewhere right now. Has no idea what's going on.
Clock all the way down here in the fourth quarter to 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Mustangs with this one completely under control, 44-6 over Howard. Howard with the ball, snap, pitch. Running back tries to cut upfield, but he gets blown up.
By number 33, Brandon Satterfield with a great play in the backfield.
A great form tackle, Brandon Satterfield. No breaks there as he ran through the tackle. Crown, your Jeep Ram headquarters in Southeast Tennessee, located off I-75 at exit 20. Also, Dell's Heating and Air. For all your heating and air needs, just call Dells.com. Wonder if Wilson's listening to the game tonight.
I mean, he's in the woods somewhere right now because I saw him on Snapchat, and that's what he posted about. But
looking for something to eat out there, I think.
I mean, he's not very good at hunting. That's what I figured out.
Clock down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds in this ball game. Howard with the ball. Twin set of running backs in the backfield. It's handed off as he heads here to the home sideline, gets outside, hurdles a guy, and is brought down. Let's see if we can get a number on that tackler for the Mustangs. That's number 35. Number 35 for Walker Valley, and that is C.T. Gunter. C.T., who's a sophomore, making a tackle. Also see number 45 out on the field for the Mustangs. That's Ethan Sharp, the senior. Number 41, Cooper Godsey is out there as well. Coach A, because as I said, they're doing a good job getting a rotation of guys in here. Glad to see those guys getting to play.
Gregory White out there. Shout out Miss B. Love Miss B.
Listen, Greg, man, that's my buddy. See if Greg can make a play right here. Good pursuit by the Mustang defense to the ball carrier.
10 hats to the ball right there.
Yep. Running back flushed out to the far side from us to the Walker Valley sideline, and right there, as you said. Hey, that's one thing I want to ask you as this clock ticks down the final seconds here. One thing that we know going back to Coach Harvey, Jacob and I always talk about how the defense, it's constantly 10, 11 hats to the ball, as you said. Talk about how Coach Aiken's staff, obviously now Coach Henderson here, and it seems to, listen, talk about in stride. It doesn't matter how good of a defensive coordinator. Anytime you're in your first year as a D coordinator, there's going to be some transition. There's going to be some terminology differences. But, how can you relay to 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, play recognition?
It's all about really the way that they practice. I mean, you see it at every level. I saw it at the collegiate level. You're doing drills where if you don't have all 11 guys to the ball, you're running sprints. It's like it's a mindset almost that you have to beat it into them.
So with that, final score from Howard High School, Walker Valley 44, Howard 6, a region win for the Mustangs, and a lot of reps for some guys here in the second half for Walker Valley, which, listen, and we've talked about, obviously, injuries are a big deal with this team right now. Coach Aiken said he's never experienced anything like this before with the amount of guys that are hurt. We know Jeremiah Townsend didn't play on the offensive line tonight. We know Michael Wood was out of the secondary. Mason Alexander. We could go on and on about all the different injuries. Obviously, Eli Cross season ended before it started. Zeke Garrison in the Polk County game lost him for the season as well, unfortunately. But we've talked about it. We're just kind of almost beating a dead horse, but it is extremely valuable to protect those guys that you have starting for you in a game like this to be able to be healthy going into a region game against East Hamilton.
Yeah, I think that's a big kind of bounce back thing because you had the tough loss last week. You had guys in new spots that, they weren't used to. You had a quarterback that the receivers aren't used to. They probably didn't have much confidence in him. And then you come into this week, you play Howard, you beat them soundly. Quarterback has a great game. He's able to go 7 for 11, 3-4 touchdowns. The receivers get more confidence in him going into this next week, this big region game against East Ham. And I think all of that just kind of all of that comes together in a way is these guys all are helping themselves by the way that they play, the way that they practice.
Yeah. Hey, Brody, I got another question for you here as we see the Mustang team do, as they always do, win or loss. They're going over to the student section and to the band. The staff, the coaches, the players, everybody over there together celebrating. Kind of talk about what those moments meant to you in your playing days at Walker Valley.
Yeah, they were being over there with the student section that comes out on the field, playing the band, our theme song for the most part whenever we get a win. Being over there with the guys you just went to war with pretty much. I mean, it's all just it grows you closer together, especially the going back to the win at Powell. I mean, we stormed the field.
Yeah.
It was just a different kind of feeling. Now, when you lose, you don't really want to stand over there and, do all that.
But again, one thing that I like that Coach Aikens, as I said, win or lose, it's kind of hey, it happened. We're going to face it. So let's go, keep our tradition, keep doing what we're doing, and take accountability almost for what just happened. So luckily for us, 44-6 is the final here at Howard. a region win for the Mustangs. With that, we're going to take about a 5-minute break. We're going to try to get Coach Drew Akins up here for his post-game interview. But, hey, I've got to say it. Brody Swafford filling in for Jacob Mason. A phenomenal job tonight. I appreciate all the insight. A guy that's played some Division I football, that is a Mustang legend, and really enjoyed getting to do this with you, Brody. And listen, I can remember a little kid walking the halls at Ocoee Middle School that, I would try to get you to come out of your shell, and all I could get is that big grin and like maybe a yes or a no. But listen, great job tonight, man. I really enjoyed that,
Coach. Thank you. I had a great time. You made this easy.
Good deal, man. Glad to hear it. So with that, once again, the final, Walker Valley 44, Howard 6. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll be back here for the postgame show.
As your local credit union, the TVFCU mortgage team has more than 30 employees who live right here. Your money supports the community, and that means special savings to you. Visit tvfcu.com/mortgage savings to learn more. TVFCU, an equal housing lender.
Thank you for choosing Whirlpool, where we are committed to being the best global kitchen and laundry company in constant pursuit of improving life at home. For more information on Whirlpool, please visit whirlpool.com.
Attention, business owners and managers. Bring your team for team building to Leisure Time Bowling. Leisure Time Bowling offers your company or organization the chance to have fun together with bowling, great food, and a private meeting space. Research shows that team building leads to greater business success. Call Leisure Time Bowling to make your reservation at 728-2988. That's 728-2988 or ltbowling.com.
Voitic Center for Orthopedic Care treats all orthopedic injuries, including neck and back pain. At Voitic Center for Orthopedic Care, insurance isn't a worry because they accept all insurances and can even get same-day appointments or even walk-ins. Digital x-rays are even on site. Voitic Center is also a certified concussion care specialist. Contact Dr. Voitic and his staff at 479-3600 for your appointment today.
L&B Appliance is your one-stop appliance shop, locally owned and operated, serving this area for over 30 years. They offer sales and service. L&B Appliance, located on Durkee Road at Highway 64 in Cleveland, 423-339-3231. L&B Appliance, large enough to meet all your home appliance needs, small enough to appreciate your business.
Imagine this. Handheld pizza puffs filled with mozzarella cheese and pizza sauce, topped with buttery garlic drizzle, with either 3 herbs or pepperonis. Well, it's a reality. Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Pick them up at 3 locations, Paul Huff, Key Street, or McGrady Drive, or order online.
Checkin' the Cash is your one-stop money shop and has been helping customers with cash solutions since 1993. If you're short on cash and need a little help to overcome a financial hurdle, we're here for you. Our Chattanooga area stores, including Cleveland and Athens, offer payday loans and flex line of credit options. We understand that doing the research for these loans can be overwhelming. That's why we strive to make the application process simple and convenient. We also provide quick in-store services like check cashing, money orders, wire transfers, and even gift card buyback. Want to learn more about your options? Visit our website at checkintocash.com. Our lending decisions are made quickly, and if approved, you can have cash in hand. Take the first step toward a bright financial future. We're here to help. Not all consumers will follow. Eligibility, rates, terms, and conditions apply. Rates, restrictions, and fees apply to store services. Please call or visit your local store for details. All Safe Storage was founded over 35 years ago by Ed Brown right here in Cleveland. And now they've grown to 5 locations in Cleveland and Bradley County. Get a free Penske truck rental when you rent a storage unit at All Safe Storage and get your first month free. Call 479-6377. That's 479-6377. First month free and a free Penske truck rental at All Safe Storage and visit allsafetn.com.
Imagine a truck that doesn't just own the road, it dominates it. It's not just about the destination. It's about the journey. And our new GMC Sierra is elevating every moment of that journey for me. It's not just a truck. It's a lifestyle. Don Ledford didn't just sell me a truck. They saw the lifestyle I wanted, and they found me that truck.
Hometown service with a smile. If that's something you haven't experienced in a while, then maybe you should talk with the friendly staff at Joe Rogers Office Supply. With free delivery, no minimum order requirements, and a great selection of office supplies and office furnishings, they're sure to brighten your day. Visit or call today at 476-7527. That's Joe Rogers Office Supply for friendly hometown service with a smile.
The Billy Haney Meat Company has been serving this community for 56 years, locally owned and operated and open to the public. Feel free to call or just walk in to get all of your bulk food needs with no membership required. Keep your chest freezer stocked with frozen and fresh hamburger patties and frozen chicken of all types. The Billy Haney Meat Company literally has it all. Those square pizzas we all loved in school, they have those too. And they keep a large supply of your favorite candy and chips. Call the Billy Haney Meat Company at 336-2468 or visit them at 2154 Old Charleston Road.
Southern Heritage Bank, we provide tools to protect you and your accounts. Secure Lock Equip is an easy-to-use mobile app that puts the power to protect your debit cards in your hands. Simply use the free app to turn your card on or off in real time as needed. It also helps track your purchases. You'll receive a notification each time your debit card is used, before the sales clerk can provide you with a receipt. Prevent fraud. Control spending with Southern Heritage Bank, a division of First Citizens National Bank, member FDIC. ESPN Radio returns to Southeast Tennessee. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM is the new home of the Paul Feinbaum Show, Greeny, The Drive, and more of your favorite shows. Listen on air or at ESPNCleveland1013.com. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 FM.
Welcome back to WCLE 99.1, your exclusive home of Walker Valley football, supplied all season long by Wholesale Supply Group. They're open to the public. The final here from Howard High School, region victory for the Mustangs, 44-6 in dominating fashion. Brody Swafford and I, once again, this is Andy Morris here. We are joined with Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins. Coach Akins, Brody and I have talked about it. Really a great night for the entire roster of the Mustangs tonight.
Yeah, we spread the ball around, we had three touchdowns passing. I thought we threw the ball better. It was last week we just kind of had handcuffs on, and this week we decided, hey, we're going to go find stuff that he can do well. And when we know what he can do well, we're going to call those things. And I think you saw the three big posts. He throws a deep ball well. We've got to get better in the intermediate. He's got to throw hitches better. He's got to throw, the short outs better. But
hey, I can tell this guy's been hanging around you for a while because
saying a lot of the same
things you're saying is what Brody was saying.
Yeah, he throws a really good deep ball, and you saw that. I mean, really threw the last one to Luke was a freaking dime.
Looked pretty too.
Yeah, it was a really good look. It had a lot of air under it, allowed us to run underneath it. So, man, I wish we would have had you running this offense because there's a lot of big posts, man. It's a lot of fun, and it's way different than even you grew up. We've morphed into a totally different offense. You would have thrived in this, but it was good to see us make some plays. I thought we played, honestly, the biggest thing that I took away from the night, we had fun for the first time in 3 weeks. I mean, we haven't had fun honestly since before Cleveland.
Yeah.
I think a little bit of that is we felt some pressure because now we're the hunted, and we've talked about that. We've never been in the position where we're the one that people are coming after. And tonight we just kind of let that go, and played free. And it was the most fun I've seen our guys have. And because of that, we played harder. And, we had a lot more success.
Hey, Coach, perfectly on cue. Ardell's Heating and Air player of the game. You can visit them at justcalldells.com. We talked about it. We're going to give it to the offensive line, specifically just the way they dominated tonight.
Yeah, and listen, I think we're going to go watch film. And several times I thought we had offensive linemen blocking 10 yards down the field on a person, finishing blocks. It was really good to see our offensive line play that way. We've talked about it all year long. And maybe, it's finding that balance of, setting expectations for certain position groups, but also telling them they don't have to be perfect. And I think a lot of this year we've been trying to be perfect. And because of that, we've been thinking so much that we couldn't play hard. I think tonight, they kind of let loose and just played hard, and you saw a bunch of blocks. I mean, I think we rushed for close to 10 yards a rush, right? Had a great evening, running the ball. So they played great, protected very well. I'm excited to go watch film and see if it was as good as it felt on the sideline.
Hey, real quick, while you're with us, we're going to go over some post-game stats. You get to listen to them this week. I know you're always interested on the.
I literally never remember. I have no idea what happened throughout the game. I have no idea.
The post-game stats are sponsored by Waste Connections. You can visit them online at wasteconnections.com. Walker Valley on 32 rushes, rushed for 216 yards. Jacob Curley, 7 of 11 passing for 156 yards. Also on the ground, Javen Hall, 10 rushes for 128 yards. And Lincoln Jackson, didn't call him Spencer once. I'm proud of myself.
I called him Spencer all year, so you're better than me.
Lincoln Jackson, 10 rushes for 52 yards, getting some valuable playing time as a freshman, along with Spencer McCooch's 4 rushes for 41 yards. Roman Yulo, and listen, Brody loves to give Roman a hard time, so taking some touchdowns from some guys that did the dirty work. 4 rushes for 41 yards and a couple of rushing touchdowns.
Oh, that's great, man. I love the load. And listen, they know it. Our running backs know. If we get tackled inside the 10, you should have scored, man.
Yeah. That was the worst part of anyhow. I was begging you, please just run a reverse, run something inside the 5 that I can get.
Yeah, I got tackled inside the 5. Let me finish. I was like,
nope,
Javen, you should have scored.
When Javen stood up at the 3-yard line,
he was so mad.
He was so defeated after a huge game.
Listen,
just get faster.
Everybody, if you get tackled inside the 5, you cost yourself a touchdown because we're going to get in load, and 99 out of 100 times we're going to finish with.
I think it's higher than that.
Yeah, Hudson McCooch, 2 receptions for 37 yards and a touchdown. Roman Yulo also had 40 yards receiving and a touchdown. Luke Hayden, 2 receptions for 48 yards and a touchdown. Luke Hayden doing a great job tonight as a receiver coach. Also, Tate Roundtree had 1 reception for 14 yards. Listen, I pumped Tate up today.
Big time first down.
And listen, he came in and got that catch, and then he dropped the second one. You could tell he was a little frustrated over there on your sideline. But listen, Tate Roundtree doing a lot of the dirty work. We can't talk about him enough.
He makes us go, guys. Like, if we run the ball well, it's because Tate, I know I've said it a bunch. It's one of those lack of glory things, but man, when we run the ball well, it's because Tate played well. And I, again, think we, as a whole, played really well tonight.
Also, number 12, Joseph Arnett had a reception for 17 yards. I actually think he had 2 receptions tonight. Didn't get that last one in here. Troy Duskevich on the defensive side of the ball, absolutely dominant. 4 tackles, 3 sacks. Huge night for Troy Duskevich.
Yeah, several for loss too, I think, on that. Listen, I've challenged our D-line, our line of scrimmage all year. We've got to play better up front on both sides of the ball. I thought tonight both sides were absolutely dominant. I thought Troy, how many sacks? 3 sacks?
Yeah, 3 sacks.
Yeah, I mean, he came off early in the first quarter, and I was like, hey, is that already 3 sacks? He was like, I missed 1. So he went and got that 3rd one, but he's really tough to handle. He's so long, understands body position because we're wrestling, and he's done a great job on the defensive line. He's a great leader up front for us. Leads through the way he plays, which is good to see.
Yeah. Also, Tyler Goldman, nearly with 2 pick sixes.
He should have had 2.
He made up for it. Yeah, made up for it. Got that second one.
Yeah. Listen, Goldman has really stepped up, and since Zeke's injury, he was splitting time with Zeke, and we knew he was a good player, but just hadn't kind of taken that away. But since Zeke has gone out, you've seen him really step up. Had a great game at Bradley with 7 tackles, 5 assists, and then has played well every single week since. So really proud of what he's doing. We knew he was that kind of player, and he showed that on Monday nights for the last couple of years. But now seeing it, come to Friday nights has been awesome.
Yeah. Also, Noah Campbell missed an early extra point, ended up coming through, being pretty good for the rest of the night, and hit a field goal there towards the end of the game.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Hey, let's go do this field goal because last week we missed that. So late in the game, typically that's not what I do, just because it feels like cheap points. But I felt like as a team we needed to see one go through, and he absolutely kicked it as good a kick as I've seen him do all year. So we're going to have that. So that's big time.
All right, Coach, play of the game. a little bit of a joking manner here. I'm saying it's Roman Eula. And listen, Brody's been throwing shade. He's been throwing shade.
He dropped it.
purpose?
Thank you. He dropped
He dropped
it.
it on purpose?
He hit his hand like he had brick hands or something. It literally just bopped straight up in the air. And I was like, dude, come on.
Throwing so much shade on Roman tonight. But so on that play, we're
Thank
going to
you.
call it the play of the game. Roman drops the snap, picks it up, rolls out, and throws a 2-point conversion.
Thank you.
It was a good throw, though.
It was 2 yards. It was 2 yards. It was a 2 yard.
He said Roman can't throw the football.
No, he can't. It's shocking.
I
was just like, man, we're going to be able to go. We're going to be able to play Roman at quarterback. We're going to be fine. And then he threw it twice, and I was like, well, there goes that.
Thank you.
Listen, I thought, we came in tonight too defensively with a mindset of we wanted to turn them over. We were able to get the 2 interceptions, and that is what we got to see from our defense throughout the remainder of this year. We've got to go get turnovers. And I thought with the 2 interceptions, the first one that we had at midfield, that was a really good play. Judged the ball really well. Big time turnover and celebrated that. And then Goldman with the interception, and then another interception down the corner right at the end of half. Like, we did some good things defensively, and the big focus was let's get our hands on the football and create some turnovers. I thought we did that tonight.
Yeah, secondary did a great job for the Mustangs. Obviously, we talked about all the injuries, everybody that's out. Michael Wood out tonight. Secondary did a great job, though.
Yeah, 7 starters out right now. But listen, it's one of those things. Our kids are learning to fight through adversity, and hopefully we can get healthy down the stretch and make a run. And last I heard, Ray County was down, so that kind of puts
They were down 12 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, puts us back in a situation kind of like last year, where if we go win and handle our business,
exactly,
then we should be able to walk away here with another region championship. But we're a long way away from that. We got to continue to get better and make sure that we put Curly in great spots, and our defense has got to continue to play as good as they're playing, because they're giving us a chance in every ball game right now.
So before we send it back to the station, some real quick finals. Farragut defeats Bradley 28-20. Cleveland on the road in Charlotte, North Carolina. They fall to Charlotte Christian 48-27. Obviously, your Mustangs with the 44-6 win tonight here at Howard. Ray County currently in the fourth quarter trailing McMinn 28-16. So McMinn 28, Ray County 16 currently in the fourth quarter. Also, not final yet. Meigs County defeats McMinn Central 39-14. Polk County, this is final, defeats Wartburg 38-8. And East Hamilton defeats Oodlewall 42-7. And another game of interest we were looking at. For a good while, Baylor was shutting out McCallie. The final score there, Baylor 44, McCallie 12.
Jeez,
Yeah.
dude, my boy Chris Brown is real.
Yeah.
Holding that offense to 12 points. I look forward to checking my messages, because obviously that's a big game, and he's one of my best friends in coaching. And guys, that Baylor team that came up to Walker Valley to scrimmage,
that's a real deal.
It was a real deal, man.
Yeah,
So
real deal.
they're a great football team. I love Chris Brown, Chris Payne, those 2 guys on their staff. It makes a huge difference for Baylor, and you see it. It's very evident in the way they play. So proud of those guys. Love those guys. Fun night.
Well, Coach, I don't think the buses leave until you tell them that they're allowed to, but we definitely don't want you to miss the bus. But, hey, I'll say this. I'm glad to see that the interstate's moving.
A party?
We should.
Looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It looks like a party in
It's a
the
light
back.
show.
It's got to be something away from that, right?
Listen, region win for the Mustangs. They're
I'm not
having
going to ride the bus.
a party in the bus. So, again, the final here from Howard, Walker Valley 44, Howard 6. With that, again, I'm Andy Morris along with Brody Swafford filling in for
Brody
Jacob
Swafford.
Mason. Brody did
Just make a permanent switch.
Hey, listen.
Hey, Jacob, man, you miss a Friday night.
We've been throwing
You
shade
lose
at
your
Jacob.
chance.
Hey, Jacob's having his own fun right now.
That's true. He's
That's
all
right.
right, I think.
That's right.
I appreciate you guys, man. Love you guys.
Yeah, once again, Walker Valley head football coach Drew Akins, final score tonight, Walker Valley 44, Howard 6. We're going to send it back to you guys at the station. We've had enough fun tonight.
You've been listening to Walker Valley Mustang Football on Sports 99.1, supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Download the free Mix 1041 app and listen on your phone or mobile device at mymix1041.com. The proceeding has been a